everybody. This is DJ Slope from Slope's Game Room, and I'm on Retrounlim Live. This isn't my channel. No. Unfortunately, the incredible, the amazing Mr. Harry Yak is not going to be with us tonight, but he is here in spirit, and he also might be in the comments, so do look out for him. But it isn't just me here. Of course it's not. I do have some incredible guests with me, and a couple of extra hoping to join in a little bit later on. We'll start with who I can see on the left, Mr. I don't know if it's the same for you guys down there, Mr. Novabug. Please, Novabug, introduce yourself.
Well, hello. Thank you very much, Dan. That's very nice of you. Very kind and generous. Novabug here. That's what I normally start with, don't I? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know whether you know me. You probably don't because I'm quite small for I. But anyway, I've been around on Retrounlim for quite a while now, and I've done this for a while.
You've hosted this bad boy before, haven't you?
Yeah, many times, and we did quizzes and lots of things. Which, yeah, long time ago. It seems so long ago now, but back in the saddle. Let's go.
I hear on the grapevine it's all coming back, so I'm sure you'll be hosting plenty.
Yeah, I very much doubt it. I can't feel your shoes now, Dan. I really can't.
Yes, you can. Right, over to
Hello, everyone.
Kim Justice, please introduce yourself.
Hey there, y'all. My name's Kim Justice. I do documentaries. I do various other weird videos of whatever comes to my attention. That's my life. It's not super interesting, but I'm here for whatever reason. So yeah, that's me. And I've been on here, a couple of times now? The game shows and that, drawing penises and everything.
Yeah, the Slopes game show we've done in the past. Hopefully we'll do a few more of those. Maybe do one live. That'd be a cool thing, wouldn't it? But anyway, enough about Kim and Novabug, because we've also got Mr. Scott's Game Asylum.
Hey!
Yes. Because he used to be called SGR, you see, guys. You see.
Yes, that was.
But he
I wasn't ripping you off, by the way.
Sorry?
I wasn't ripping you off. That was completely coincidental.
No. I'm glad you changed your name, because who knows, you know.
Yeah, I can't be.
I'd have a boxing match.
Coattails. Yeah, boxing match as well. Oh, actually, that would have been a good idea. Oh well.
Give me my name back. Yes, we have Scott's Game Asylum, and the other person we have in the room is Mr. Top Hat Gaming Man. Is he going to be Top Hat Gaming Man tonight, or is he going to be Richard? Let's find out.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Top Hat Gaming Man, the most evil man, apparently, on all of YouTube. Ooh. Hello.
In my head, I was reading it along with you, even though I'd never heard you say it. I was expecting you to end with a yeah.
Maybe later.
Maybe. So there's no real major structure to tonight. We're just going to chat. We're going to look in the comments, see what's going on there. My four incredible. I suppose everyone's a co-host. No one's a co-host. We're all losers together, guys. We're all hosting this bad boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
It's going to be a train wreck, but hold on, we'll get something.
So yeah, we'll just chat around all that sort of stuff, see what's going on, maybe talk about some new topics in the realm of new age retro gaming, some other retro gaming stuff. Maybe talk a little bit about Streets of Rage 4.
Rage 4.
Yes. And like I say, we'll have a look at the comments too. And who am I seeing in here? We're seeing Retro Man Cave, who will be joining us next time. He says, unfortunately, he's not able to make it tonight. So, hello, Retro Man Cave.
Hello, Cave Dwellers.
Oh, Neil.
Cave Dwellers, absolutely. I love that we've all got our little things.
Cave.
What is the intro? How do you intro? I say that. Hey there, guys, with my deep voice on.
Hey y'all.
I just mix it up.
You mix it up.
Yeah, I try to think as Cave Dwellers not. I try to go with Asylamites, but it's like
Asylamites.
No.
What have you got going on, Novabug? What's your intro? What's your introduction?
The end, I make a point of always saying Novabug out at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. And most of the time it'll be Novabug here at the beginning with some sort of variation, some sort of colloquialism of hi, howdy, and how, and all that kind of stuff at the end.
Sure. And Top Hat.
Well, yes. I normally start with hello, ladies and gentlemen. Top Hat Gaming Man here, but recently, a lot of people have been noticing that I always say that. So I've been mixing it up recently just to confuse people, such as, hello, ladies and gentlemen, Top Gaming Man hat here.
Paying attention.
I thought that might have been your audition for WOS.
Oh, yes. Maybe one day soon. Not
Oh, I'd love to see you on WOS.
I love it when he comes on because his voice just goes deeper for like about 3 hours or however long.
I'll tell you about that story when I interviewed him, and he threw me out completely because he's talking to me, and you were there, Dan,
with me as well. Yeah.
So me and Rich are having a talk, and so we'll sit down, and immediately goes into top hat.
Yeah.
I'm like, shh.
As soon as that
threw me out completely.
Daniel Vieira in the chat says, just as long as we say what's going on, guys.
What's going on? Who says what's going on, guys?
Oh, what?
99% of people on YouTube.
And quickly followed by smash that like button. No thanks.
I often moan about this on social medias. What's that all about? What's going on, guys? That's a question rather than an introduction, isn't it? And the audience can't reply. It makes no sense.
I used to do it as well, and now thinking about it, I just want to just cut my own head off now. Oh, cringe.
But like, when you watch, you always know what sort of channel you're watching. If within the first few, like 10, 20, 30 seconds, it does that thing, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell and make sure that you click the button to make sure you see all of our content. It's like,
because I have to tell you everything that you do because I
so you've got the what's going on, guys? So
yeah, I hate it when people.
I'm not going to say any more.
I hate it when people front load. If you do it at the end of the video, once you've watched it, fine. But right at the start, no, piss off. Get to the point.
And what's with the term notification squad as well? Who wants to be in a notification squad?
I love that. When I put up a video and I see the first 10 comments of like, here's the notification squad, they've come to your video. I think that's cool. I like that.
First.
Yeah, I like that. And second,
Blue Peter badge.
I like that. I obviously you don't, but I like the notification squad.
It's just funny. It's just funny.
Retro Man Cave, Slopes, be honest, did you really punch a fly? I did. The end of that, really. I put out a statement saying I nearly punched a fly, and I did. But I did.
Wow.
All right, calm down, Danielson.
I think Jeff Goldblum's got a good lawsuit against you.
Hey, there we go.
Was it you, Dan, who, by the way, just to interrupt, was it you once who was at a chocolate factory and you fell into all the chocolate stream like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or was that Larry? I can't remember.
No, Larry loves to tell the story. It was me, but it wasn't a chocolate factory. It's like a chocolate factory. I was like Augustus Gloop. I worked in an ice cream factory, and we had like those, like you can imagine, like sort of like those fishnet sort of cap things on, with, you know, so your hair doesn't get in there. And we were doing this thing because I didn't give a shit about the job. I was like 16 or so, and we kept throwing our hat over this big tank, like this fucking huge tank. And I was, and you like done, you know, do a thing where you're like to make someone like jump. You're like, ooh, you know, and he did it, and I actually did fall in head first. And someone had to pull me out, but apparently there was like blades at the bottom, like chopping up shit. So it would have made slope ice cream.
Yes,
that would have been fantastic.
What I thought would be a cool way to get to know us all a little bit more is I got given this half-broken magazine of, what did we call it? Megatech, an old Megatech magazine from back in the mid-90s.
Oh, yeah.
On the rise of the sort of the Mega CD era, I think this was.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And inside there was a little questionnaire to find out a bit more about the reader so they could tailor their magazine to your needs. And I thought maybe I'll skip over the boring questions. Are you male? Are you female? What's your age? You know, what are you at school? You know, that sort of. Do you watch TV? But he's really taking it seriously, because if you could look, he's actually put Tipex on the answers that he wasn't happy with. So wow, he's really taking it quite seriously. But
sure that's Tipex.
I'm really sad to say that there's no name here, so we don't know what his name is. But we do know he owned. No, hang on. Which of the following machines do you, 1, own, or 2, have access to? Okay, so he owns a Mega Drive and a Mega CD, but he has access to a Game Gear, Nintendo Super NES, a Nintendo Game Boy, and a PC. But more interestingly, what is your favorite TV program? He's put down. There it is. Bab Influence. Guys,
By
TV
Peggy
show.
Mitchell.
What's your favorite TV program? It says here. Oh, sorry, I'll Simon. Sorry,
Which
Novabug.
one?
What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
Who?
Oh,
Novabug.
Oh, me.
Novabug.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry. I wasn't listening there. Right. So you all know
What's your favorite TV show?
Red Dwarf.
Novabug? Red Dwarf.
Red Dwarf.
Very good. Very good. What about
Has
you,
been-
Kim?
has been
What?
since season 3. Red Dwarf. It always has been. It's never changed. It's still brilliant today. Even the new ones. When you think the quality could wane, it's still as funny as hell.
What, of the now or of forever? Dan?
I reckon we should do forever.
Of the forever. Phew. Do I be really like hipsterish and say Breaking Bad? Because I love Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. So I think something else. Shit.
That's
Breaking Bad is good.
like, generic answer, but it was fucking great. Isn't it?
It was good. It was good. And what about you, Mr. Scott's Game Asylum?
Well, now that Kim's taken the choice I was going to put, I would probably go with bottom.
Oh,
Yay.
good.
It's the Gas Man. Sorry.
Gas Man.
Start stealing their jokes.
And Mr. Top Hat Gaming Man here.
I'll be honest, didn't watch much television at all, really. But so I'll share with you a couple of my favorite films. Big fan of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, one of the greatest films that's ever been produced. Excellent characters such as Jar Jar Binks. It's still around fantastic. I love the film, a cinematic masterpiece. And there's only one film what's even better than that, and that is Freddy Got Fingered. You gotta love that.
Oh,
I love that. I love
I
that.
love Freddy Got Fingered.
Daddy, would you like a sausage?
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Backwards man, the backwards man. I can go back as fast as you can.
Well, at least the Phantom Menace is better than the Last Jedi.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I'm never even going to watch The Last Jedi.
Nah, fuck Star Wars.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I've never been the biggest
think a
fan
lot
of
of
Star
people-
Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars were. I've never been a huge fan of Star Wars. I mean, I find it weird though. Like Disney seem to have made Star Wars to. It's just another movie. It's like, how's that happened?
Well, because they've they
just
cash
another
cow
boy
it, haven't they? We're going to milk what we can. We're going to satisfy all the.
Right. I've got to jump in and save Disney's arse a little bit here because I'm obsessed. So basically, and to answer your question, my favorite is probably Friends. But if you want to, I think what
Friends is good.
what makes me, I think, showcases me a little bit more would be something like Ren and Stimpy or the young ones. But yeah, Friends is definitely the thing I watch the most. Disney turned Star Wars around. They've released a fuck ton of films. They made their money back before they released like number 7, 8, 9, and all that shit because they made all their money back primarily on the Industrial Light and Magic. You know, the effects studio, you know, that made all the movies. But I think they've turned it around. I mean, 1, 2, and 3 were not good films. Well, I've never watched 3. Like 1, I found a quite good film. 2, I found I can't get through this film, and 3, I just couldn't watch because you know I got to that point. And I feel like I really enjoyed 7.
I just think that, you know, back in my day, when a Star Wars film came out, it was an event. Like it's like, oh, like you couldn't get away from it for.
Yeah, but surely back in your day, thinking about the age that me and you are, that wasn't Star Wars 1, 4, 5, and 6. You're talking about 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, but even then, like when Phantom Menace and even Attack of the Clones were out, like it was still something you could barely get away from. And it's like when they release things like not necessarily like Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, but like, well, Solo, I think was the big one. It's like a Star Wars movie that flopped. It's like that'd been unthinkable. It's like that actually a Star Wars film that actually flopped at the box office.
It was a
I
trilogy.
don't know. I just think they're releasing too much.
Well, too much too soon, especially the job I work in IRL. My stance on Star Wars is very good because every time there's a new one looming, that's when the stress levels where I work go whoop. Yeah, not fun.
It's not needed. That's for me. It was never needed. The first 4, well, the first 3, should I say?
4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6. Yeah. I mean, part 4 was released in 1977 when I was born. So I don't obviously remember that, but I do remember when Jedi came out. I remember the hype over the trilogy, the original hype, coming into the mid-80s.
Yeah.
I was only a child, but I do remember that. I remember seeing Star Wars back then, what a big deal it was. And then it lasted for so long, just on the back of those 4 films, right? And then, of course, the prequel trilogy came out. yes, a couple of the films were weak compared to the first 4.
They have their hardcore fans though, don't they?
I thought part 3 was actually very good.
I've heard that as well, and I do want to watch it. I
thought Revenge of the Sith is actually very good.
Mm.
And I tell you what, the bit where Anakin goes around slaughtering all the Jedi, especially the kids, that's well done. And not, it has emotion in it.
Yeah.
I tell you what, guys. I'm sorry. What was you going to say?
And you think, okay, that's it. That's the complete package. Honestly, the only other thing that needed to be done in my mind was what they did with Rogue One.
Yeah, but the thing is with this
to connect the two.
Jimmy Savile.
I can handle them 7 films.
I'm very sad to say I haven't seen Rogue One. And while we're on the subject of Rogue One, guys, a massive shout out. We spoke about this guy before we came on. Pixels Limited, not only a very good channel, but he was actually a fucking extra in Rogue One. So say what you want about the films, but that's a pretty fucking mega lifetime accomplishment.
Rogue One is the only one of the new era I would take as part of canon. Because
Rogue One, you mean?
Yeah, well, I obviously, like all of us, excited for The Force Awakens. When I watched Force Awakens, I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's got good ideas. And then all them ideas are totally trashed when The Last Jedi comes out. And you think, you know exactly where they're going here. They're just forcing certain...
Can I interject just for a second regarding these films? The thing I dislike most about them is the fact that they've killed off all the characters what everyone loves.
Yeah.
And the characters they've replaced them with have got no personality or reason to exist whatsoever. Like, what is there to like about Finn, Rey, or Rose? Nothing. They haven't even got characters.
There's no backstory.
This is
the reason why people were invested in parts 1, 2, and 3, because you were invested in the character of Vader. You were invested in Obi-Wan.
Even like Jar Jar Binks was a lot more fleshed out than any of the new trilogy characters.
Of course you like Jar Jar Binks.
There's no question. No, I don't even argument.
Why is the Atari Lynx better than the Switch? Video coming soon from Top Hat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, you're right, Rich, because the character of Finn is hollow. Finn's character is completely hollow.
All of them. There's not one character I like from the new trilogy.
And then, the thing is, and then you get things like Poe, who's supposed to be the new heroic, and he's being.
He reminds me of a parody of Lone Star, who was already a parody.
Yeah, he's almost like that. He's almost like that. I don't have time for the new films anymore. I really don't.
I wonder if Jar Jar will go check his email. Like, like strong.
I'm just reading an article like not too long back where they talk to like the guy who played him, just and you talk
right,
about
guys.
amount of business.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hey, all right, guys. How you doing?
I'll introduce you. Hello, this is what the fuck has iPhone just taken over?
Oh, we're not family. Are we not family friendly tonight? Can we swear?
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Thank fuck.
This is
that.
This is Retrounlim. We can do whatever the fuck country we want.
I am so sorry I'm late, guys. I have literally just come off holiday. I've just got bags in from the car, and the webcam wasn't working, so I've got a really crappy replacement one up at the moment. But I'm here. I'm here.
Your Amstrad's behind you.
I have, yeah. I did that before we went on holiday.
I'm not seeing what Top Hat's just recently got though. Top Hat, what have you recently got?
I procured today a Amstrad PC something. Amstrad PC 512D, which is like some odd laptop thing. So yes.
Oh, awesome! Oh, is that the notepad?
It's like I suppose.
Is it one of these?
Yes.
Is it that? Hang on.
No.
Not that one. It's got like a big green LCD screen on it.
Yeah.
Like in the corner.
Oh, yeah. Is that the laptop thingy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah.
From 1988.
I
Portable.
want one of them. Mm.
So, what we were saying, Zypho, before you came along, was favourite TV shows of all time.
Oh gosh. Immediately off the top of my head, Red Dwarf. I love me some Red Dwarf. The classic Doctor Who sort of Sylvester McCoy era. I'm a big, huge Sylvester McCoy fan. Oh gosh, loads of TV shows. I'm addicted to TV shows. So anything new coming out, pretty much from Stranger Things, Lethal Weapon. I will consume them. But favorite of all time? Can't think. Red Dwarf. I'll just say Red Dwarf. Be done with it.
There you go. There's 2 for Red Dwarf.
2 Red Dwarfs in the chat.
Absolutely. So even though we went on a big rant about movies, the next question was, what is your favorite TV movie / video? And he's put down Aliens, which I'm assuming is Aliens.
Aliens.
The Spanish bootleg of Aliens.
Yeah,
So,
or Italian.
What's your favorite TV movie video, guys? We'll start with you again, Novabug.
TV movie? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, just favorite movie, I think.
Yeah, it's basically movie.
Yeah.
Favorite movie, basically. Fifth Element.
Fifth Element. That's a Fifth
Element.
Element.
Closely followed by Back to the Future Part
Long
1.
time.
I think if it's, well, off the top of my head, it'd be either Dread 3D or Hardcore Henry. I fucking love Hardcore Henry because it's so damn silly.
Kim?
I'd probably say if I put that 2 in, I'd say that as a film, because I used to be a bit of a film buff, Once Upon a Time in the West. Love that film.
Oh, yeah.
Great film. Great film.
Or Goodfellas.
I've never seen that film. Who said that? Top Hat Gaming Man. Is it Phantom Menace?
No, because you specified TV movie. So if we're going to say TV movie, it's obviously Ewoks, The Caravan of Courage. I've got a very good reason. It's an actual Star Wars story, what isn't fan fiction, because George Lucas himself actually made it, as far as I'm aware. And it fleshes out the Star Wars universe by showing day-to-day people in that universe and how they live, rather than rebels and heroes. So it serves a great purpose within the Star Wars.
This is another question now. We're talking TV movie.
I'm going to say quickly, Mrs. Ifo, she's watching upstairs at the moment. She's currently pissing herself laughing because her nickname for me is Ewok. She thinks I look like an Ewok. So I'm quite a hairy man. So she made me watch the 2 Ewok movies like literally about a month ago. And,
So,
Wow.
joining us tonight on Retrounlim is Wicked.
So, yeah, movie, Pulp Fiction for me. But I suppose we should probably do TV movie now, actually, because that seemed to be what the question actually was. So does anyone actually have a TV movie that's a favourite? You can think of one?
I do.
Go for it. What is it, Novabug?
Well, everybody here is probably very aware of the Asylum Film Company.
Yep.
Oh. I think it's called War of the Worlds 2, The Revenge or The Return or something.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And if you're a massive, I don't know if one of the questions is what's your favourite book, because my favourite book is War of the Worlds. So I've seen all the films and the TV. Remember the TV series?
What did you think of the Tom Cruise one?
But they did the Asylum did a film, War of the Worlds Part 2, The Return or something. Oh my Christ! Oh. It's
War of the Worlds 2, the Dagger of Amon Ra or some shit.
Yeah, the Dagger of Amon.
You just see when the credits roll up at the beginning, you see Asylum. You think this is going to be great.
I suppose you got all of the. I like the Sharknado films. Are they TV movies? I'm assuming they are.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Fuck yes.
Is that a TV movie? I thought that was a full theatrical release.
Well, it might as well be a TV movie.
I remember genuinely quite enjoying Swamp Thing, but I think what best defines me would be the classic 2 Heads Are Better Than None, which I'm guessing none of you guys know what it is, but it's the Keenan and Kel movie that they went out on.
No.
Released in 2000, and then they never made anything else.
So what do? They shared a shotgun afterwards and just fucking blew each other.
They go camping. But what you got to try and imagine is watching Keenan and Kel without the canned laughter. It's just nothing. But they still stop as if the crowd's laughing, but there's no crowd laughing.
They still mug, but there's no actual reaction.
Yeah, Keenan and Kel, the poor man's kid and play.
Oh, I don't know about poor man. I was obsessed with Keenan and Kel as a kid. My God, I began drinking orange soda, even though obviously everything else tasted better. What am I saying? Orange soda, orangeade.
I had the pleasure of visiting the Keenan and Kel studio in 1996. The set.
Fuck off.
But I will say it was pretty meaningless because it was before it actually aired, so it was only on Netflix on it.
I went to Universal Studios, and Universal Studios on Orlando, Florida. You always saw at the end that Clarissa explains it all, whatever would say, you know. And I went there, and I said, like, the first thing you do, you go in and left, and there's a Nickelodeon studio, and they were like, I want to go there, because I wanted to see Keenan and Kel. And my dad at the time, stepdad, whatever, said, no, we're going to go this way, which was fine because they'd like the Terminator 2 ride and all that sort of stuff, and I was Back to the Future and I was loving that. But we went all the way round and then back, and when I came back, a limo left, and I saw these two little black hands waving goodbye. I was like, genuinely, as a 10-year-old kid, I just burst into fucking tears. Like, that's it. My only ever chance of seeing Keenan and Kel live.
You never forgave him.
No. Cunt.
Let's be honest. They are now.
I don't know. I'm never really happy.
Should I try and get Kel on a stream one night?
I'm only thinking of like a favourite TV movie. Well, I have one, but it's completely different to all the others you've said. Like HBO did one. They did a TV movie, I guess you could call it, called Citizen X one time, which is amazing. It was set like at the end of the Cold War, and it was about a Russian serial killer. And I don't know if anyone's seen it. It had like Donald Sutherland in it, and it was an amazing drama. But yeah, it's not really a B movie. So it's like,
I don't know that one.
It's pretty obscure. It's like 1995. I think.
What I am interested in looking up is Disney made a movie all about the Tower of Terror ride, like a prequel to what happened in that ride. I'd like to see that one day. But now we're getting seriously nerdy. Has everyone done the TV movie? Because the next question is a bit boring, and I don't really understand. I think he started to write something. He wrote VE on your favorite music CD/tapes.
Venereal Echo or something. That's probably some sort of plug rock band.
Vanessa Carlton. She wasn't around back then.
That's the only thing I can think of that starts with VE.
Well, VE would be like Venereal Echo or something pretentious.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla. It could be. His spelling's not great. Bad.
Exactly. Yeah. Going by spelling, it probably is correct.
Yeah. I'm going to say Michael Jackson, but Prodigy's the one that showcases me the best.
Kate Bush. Without a doubt.
Or anyone.
Yeah.
Prodigy. Yeah.
Prodigy's good.
Prodigy and Orbital.
Oh yeah, a bit of Orbital.
MI2. In fact, this is breaking news. I'm actually going to see Prodigy live in Plymouth on their new tour.
Oh, I want to go on that. I want to go on that.
I thought if you was going to London, awesome, because I'm going there too.
No, I'm not going there, mate. I know.
I might go to London. I might try and convince my wife to go with me.
Pre-sale, Scott.
Yeah, because it was on Spotify pre-sale.
Yeah, I got the pre-sale on their website and got 3 tickets, standing tickets at the Plymouth Pavilions on the November the 6th.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Nice. Music top hat?
Milli Vanilli.
Sing their own songs, Rich.
Paul Young.
Zypho. Did you give one?
What was the question again? Sorry.
Just music or tape. What's favourite?
What's my favourite music?
Yeah.
Just generally. Okay. Favourite band of all time. Nova Bug will like this. It's Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that.
Yeah. I was obsessed with him.
My third favourite band.
But I've got quite an eclectic mix of music. I love all kinds of music. But I'm kind of more of a cheesy hard rock 80s kind of guy. So I like my big hair metal kind of stuff. Bon Jovi, Poison, Def Leppard, Skid Row, all that kind of stuff. Stuff that makes me feel good. That's
Manowar. That's all I've been listening to.
Bit of Manowar. Kings of Metal, sir. Kings of Metal.
I've listened to a lot of Disturbed recently. Exactly, yeah.
I don't know. It's like I fluctuate constantly as well, but probably my favorite band because I just listen to them because it winds everyone up. It's Steel Panther.
I was with you when they played, weren't I? I saw it with you that year download. Yeah,
it was wicked.
I listened to a lot of like rap as well.
Oh yeah, Eminem released an album in the middle of the night, didn't he?
Like,
he dropped a new album.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Irrelevant now.
His 10th album, fucking hell. But and then finally, what is your favourite non-video game magazine / comic? And he's yet again put Alines again. I don't know.
Alines.
I don't know. I don't really read. Oh no, that's for Retro Gamer. I'll give Retro Gamer. I always read Retro.
Non-video game.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Is there any magazines that are
the clue
not
was in the
gaming anymore?
Sorry?
The clue was in the question.
I know. I don't read magazines.
Because you don't want to answer Cosmopolitan.
No, I don't. I don't think anyone. Oh, actually, we got a lot of those Disney cake books. There you go.
Well, I've been reading a book, but not a magazine. That's yeah.
Back in those days, I would have used to read Buster. Probably.
Nah,
But yeah,
I've been reading
probably
Metro 2033 because I just finished the game and it's fucking awesome.
Mm.
There we go. There we go. So the end
What
of
about
that
sci-fi?
question.
Yeah.
That sci-fi magazine, I forget what it was called. I used to read that.
What was that?
There was a sci-fi magazine.
Sci-fi Now or something like that, was it?
No, shit. What was it called? Used to be always like when you used to
Carry on
go
talking about
to
sci-fi. I think there's a lot going on upstairs. I'll be right back.
Empire Film Magazine.
Mm.
Yeah.
used to-
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah. I can't remember what it's called though.
I can't remember what it was called, but it was covering Doctor Who, Red Dwarf, Star Trek, Star Wars, everything. You know, I can't remember what it was called now, but I used to read that a lot.
Well, the only thing I used to read as a kid was comics mostly, and that was 2000 AD. Well, because
I used to read that. Back when I was a kid, like actually, I used to read quite a lot of magazines other than video games. Let me think. There was a karate magazine I used to read. There was the one. What is it? Oh, WWF magazine. I used to get.
Oh
that.
yeah. Good point. Yeah, I used to
And
read that too.
WWF War when that came out, which was War with Vic Venom and
Vince Russo running the fucking mag.
yeah, suggestive pictures of Marlena.
SFX.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
That's what it was called.
Oh, and Smash Hits.
and Kerrang.
Karan, yeah.
Kerrang.
Oh, correct. Metal Hammer for me as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Real Ghostbusters comic as a kid. That was the only comic I got, the Real Ghostbusters. Or Slimer with the Real Ghostbusters, as it got retitled, I think, at some point.
Well, they got to push the best character to the front, didn't they? Yes.
One other cool thing as well, I remember, back in the days before I discovered Viz, whenever I used to always go on Greece on holiday, and there was a kind of a comicsy shop because we used to go to Paros, and they used to have Mad magazine, which I used to get quite a lot whenever we were there, and like big asterisks, like paperbacks as well, which I really liked. So I used to enjoy those.
I used to, obviously, the adult comics, I used to sneak in. Zit.
Had a bit of a sneak. Zit.
Zit.
Maybe the odd Sunday Sport you see flying around.
Is that even going still?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
That's joke book available.
It's one of those papers that you wipe your ass with, more shit comes off the paper.
Yeah, but the funniest thing is,
Great British scoop, Eddie.
the funniest thing about the Sunday Sport is that it's actually now become more believable than the Guardian.
Yeah, probably.
I like the Sunday Sport. I would get it for the articles. Sorry, I had to run off and do some
Bicycling.
Okay, I don't know what's been said since I've been gone. Oh my god, someone wrote down in there DC Comics, Beano, Dandy, Wizard, and Chips. Beano, that's
Wizard
right.
and Chips.
Dino. Wizard and Chips. There's one.
Whoopee
Still said
and
Oink
Buster.
as well.
Oh,
Yeah, I used to
Oink.
read
Yeah, that was the.
Buster when I was young, super young, I mean.
Oh, Oink was weird because it was like a crossover between, like, it was like a teenage adult comic, wasn't it? Oink.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird, that one. Didn't know what it was. It was a pig.
So, I haven't actually asked any questions that Retrounlim have asked me to ask. So, I suppose we'll actually start with the questions that we've got here. So, topics of discussion. Starting off, and it's the big one. I've got plenty to talk about regarding this. I'm sure you have as well, Kim.
Yep.
Streets of Rage 4.
Woo!
Yes, Streets of Rage has come back 24 years in the making. Obviously not. But here it is. And my God, Streets of Rage 4 is back. What are everybody's thoughts about this new, very European animated-esque?
If I can make a start, I do love it's coming back, and I finally think Sega's like, oh, okay, we can actually make some money from our old IPs. But I don't like the look of the game. It just, it's too cartoony. I don't know. Just
Well, the it's kind of gone for the X-Men Marvel look, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like maybe when the game finally launches, because we've only seen like a fraction of a second of a trailer with the actual gameplay inside, it'll probably be better. But the actual, honestly, if the game came out and it looked like Mother Russia Bleeds, that would be awesome. But that's just me fantasy game developing at the moment. So yeah, I'm excited, but the look of the game, I'm not a big fan of.
Sure.
The art style, I personally, I mean, I wouldn't have minded seeing pixels as well. But I am a kind of a sucker for that sort of hand drawn-ish style.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking, and then I don't know. It's kind of like I kind of think like the difference between like Double Dragon Neon and Double Dragon 4. And it's like, and Neon when that first like images of that came out, I was kind of thinking, what does that look like? It doesn't look like much at all. But then actually playing it in motion, it made sense to me. And 4 was okay as well. I mean, it was very rigid towards the original style, but as a game, it wasn't saying much to me. So, it's kind of the proof is in the pudding. I mean, whether the graphics are pixels or hand drawn animation or whatever, is it going to play like a Streets of Rage game? Is really the big deal.
Yeah, that's the gameplay is more important than the graphics ultimately. One thing I would love to see if fantasy game developing again, if Arc System Works made it, because they have that really cool 2D engine that powered I can't remember the last few 2D games they made. Most of their fighters,
Double Dragon 4,
like Blaze Blue and all that. Yeah, and Double Dragon. But I'd love if they could do what they did with Contra, the Hardcore Uprising.
Oh, that was
have that art style. That would be awesome. But fancy booking again.
Yeah,
it is crazy because I mean I look at something like Metal Slug, and that's probably the best pixel art 2D sort of shooting, like fighting game ever made, in my opinion. Something along those lines. It's the In the Hunt-esque stuff that you've got. So yeah, they could have definitely gone with that. But I always remind myself of when I was a kid, and I remember picking up Aladdin and Castle of Illusion and whatever else, and whatever other game. I was like, my God, it feels like I'm playing a cartoon. And it blew me away. And I just always imagined, oh yeah, you can see the pixels. One day that you'll actually look like you're playing a real cartoon. We got that with things like Cuphead and Wonder Boy and things like that. And for that style of graphics, I know you always say it every generation, but games for what they're going for will never look better than Cuphead. Like Cuphead is literally now the bar has now been so perfectly done, it will never get better than that. And Wonder Boy is the perfect, absolute 100% perfect remake of that classic master. It will never look better than it does, other than making it like 4K, 8K, whatever. I don't think it'll ever look better.
So the guys. So from my understanding, the guys are their name Lizard Cube.
Yep.
They're the guys who did the graphics for Dragon's Trap and that, and they're doing the graphics for this.
Yeah.
And the gameplay has been handled by Guard Crush, Streets of Fury, which is a game that polarizes people, to say the least.
No. I did not like that game at all.
So
has anyone heard the recent update that's been made to Streets of Fury?
Well, they've got Nostalgia Critic. Yeah, that's quite funny. That's funny. I like that.
Yeah. So in my mind, it's like, as much as now it's been 24 years and you've had 24 years to think about how amazing a new Streets of Rage game would be, it's the same with Sonic Mania for me. Like, I waited so long for a new Sonic game to come out like that I always imagined in my head it would go animation-wise, like hand-drawn animation. I mean, what we got was incredible, obviously.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't what I expected in my head after waiting so long. I think actually Sonic Advance, the way that looked, was actually closer to what I expected the future of Sonic to look, although they're obviously not as good level design wise and whatever. So for me, I'm all right with it. I think I would have liked a bit more of a sort of Japanese, I suppose, Strider sort of art style rather than the. I think it looks very European animation. Things like Animal Olympics. Watch that.
The thing they really got to be careful is to make it look too much like a fan game.
Yeah.
Because we've got fan games. We've got fan games at the wazoo. This is an actual release of the franchise, so make it look like it.
Yeah, and the hardest thing it's got going for it is the fact that it's called Streets of Rage.
Yeah,
it's like every single one of these brawlers you look at, Mother Russia Bleeds, you know, the Streets of Red that obviously, you know, the clues in the name of that one, but like all of these other games, everyone says it's like Streets of Rage and Final Fight. Everyone does. So Streets of Rage has got so much on its shoulders, and we've waited so long for it. That game has got to come out and fucking knock the shit out.
Larry Bundy Jr. in the chat, I think it's talking about Streets of Fury, says they'll have Mundane Matt in the next DLC. Larry, get in here.
Yeah, hurry up, Larry.
Portland's finest.
bravo.
In regards to Streets of Rage, personally, I really like the art style, and I just think it's a little bit refreshing from the constant pixel art we've been getting in so many games lately.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Like, it almost feels like it's becoming a little bit of a cop-out, just making everything retro inspired.
Oh, it is a cop-out.
It's like the kind of direction that Mega Man's kind of taken now. I mean, I'm not really a Mega Man fan, but I saw the trailer for Mega Man 11 and I really liked what they've done with the art style for that, I have to say. I really feel like I thought that was like really good. Like, it's the best modernization of like Mega Man that they've done looks-wise. Even though it's not really a series that says anything to me, but
Dan was talking about expectations, and before I saw the trailer, and I saw that you see the animation, you see the sort of the new version of the classic intro from Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah.
The remix of the music coming down. I wasn't expecting the animation style, the graphical style that we were presented with, but like Rich says, I'm game for it.
Yes,
go with it and see how it transpires. But I was expecting more of a Double Dragon Neon kind of thing, and that's not going back to the pixel art thing, but kind of doing what Double Dragon Neon did was bring it back into this 3-dimensional 2D kind of thing. That sounds like a contradiction, but you know what I mean? The way Double Dragon Neon did it.
Yeah.
You think, well, if it has the same responses and the same moveset game engine that Streets of Rage 2 had, that made it the seminal classic that it is, and it applies those advanced graphics to it in that modern way, then that was what I was expecting, and I think I would have preferred that. But seeing what I've seen, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I think another way.
Well, I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I'm just really sorry, Kim. I'm just glad that Sega are diving into the back catalogue and pulling out an IP like Streets of Rage, and I just hope they go further. Like, for example, I'd like to see like Space Harrier brought back in like VR.
Major.
Space Harrier VR would be like brilliant. What about Alex Kidd? Have we seen anything from Alex Kidd?
Yeah, but I don't know if that is nostalgia. Like, I don't. The thing is that the mindset of gaming has changed. Can you imagine them releasing a 2D platform at the end where it's all based on luck? That the bosses are all based on luck, like paper, scissors, rock, and you just remember it. It's just like,
well, we can get with the paper, scissors, rock.
But then you take that away, and then people will kick off. That's the thing. Like, you've got to. I think Alex Kidd is a very hard one to do, because when you take something like that away that's so iconic to the series, then it's like, oh, what are you doing? This isn't Alex Kidd anymore.
Just what about something like a new Comic Zone or a new Y-Star or something like that?
I think Comic Zone's got a lot of room for improvement. I think there's a lot more they could have done with Comic Zone. Not back then. They've done what they could back then. The limitations, but nowadays with that new art style that they're doing, you imagine that art style you got for Streets of Rage, but as a Comic Zone game, that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm down for that, actually.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, they're reusing the same tricks, and I see the fans are doing it as well. Because you look at those, remember seeing those original Sonic Mania trailers where it was all like hand drawn and it was all like line art, and then like the color comes in and the very over the top beautiful music comes in and all that sort of stuff, and then you see the gameplay. And they did the same sort of thing with this. It's all perfect color, and you see it all going to line art and all that. So they're going back to the roots of like retro a lot, and you see the same thing again with Sonic. There's a new remake Master System game called Sonic Chaos.
Yeah,
the fan trailer for that looks just like a proper trailer for Sonic Mania. It's like everyone's trying to go down that classic route, and I'm really glad that Sega have discovered it. More games like that, please.
It's kind of like, I guess is the one way of thinking it maybe is like when you're a kid and you look at the cover for like Streets of Rage or Streets of Rage 2. Is that the sort of thing maybe they're going for? Like, like that, and that's what you kind of think it looks like in your head.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. And at first I was thinking, oh, they've done a rock
games. 8-bit fans would know about that.
Oh yeah. All those Spectrum covers.
Also, why do we
This
think
doesn't
they
look
keep
like this.
releasing like the Mega Drive Sega games over and over and over again, but we've not got the Saturn games ever again since they came out?
yeah.
because they're
that'd be
hard to
awesome.
do, though, aren't they? They're hard to
Yeah.
do.
They're trying.
Well, no, you say that, but the emulation for Saturn has come in leaps and bounds in the last few years.
Yeah, but you need a
especially on
hardcore, powerful PC to run a Saturn emulator. It's insane.
Problem when you
Yeah, maybe.
slap 700 processors in one console.
But I tell you, the most surprising thing about Streets of Rage 4 is obviously you're hearing so much about Shenmue and you're hearing so much about Sonic Mania and Sonic Team Racing is going to be the next thing they're all talking about. And then suddenly, oh yeah, Streets of Rage trailer, by the way.
Well, yeah. I mean, it kind of got a bit. It did. I mean, obviously, it got some like response online. It got a lot of response online, but then it ended up being the same day as the gameplay trailer for Cyberpunk. Which
Oh, yeah.
put it out the
Fuck, yes.
water.
That looks good. That looks
Now,
hilarious.
Amazing.
I don't buy in the game hype, but watching that video, I cried tears of joy watching it. Like, fucking finally.
It looks good. It looks good. But basically, yeah. So I ran to the people I know at Sega, like, is this real? Is this real? Because every social media page I could find was like, there was nothing on there. I'm like, how is Sega releasing a Streets of Rage game and not talking about it? It's
No.
fucking enormous. Like below, arguably, Shenmue and Sonic, Streets of Rage is next, surely.
Yeah, Streets of Rage is third for sure.
And back in the day, when just before the Wii version, the Wii sequel for Knights came out, there was a poll, and that's how that game got made. On a Sega website, where they said, like, what classic Sega game would you like to see come back? And Streets of Rage comes second behind Knights. They know it's up there, but they're just not talking about it. But it's because, like you say, they're hardly even publishing it, are they? I mean, I don't know any of this; they haven't told me. But I'm saying, like, .mu or .emu, these are the people that are heavy publishing it. The same way Wonder Boy, you know, I don't remember seeing Sega really talking about that too much.
No.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why are Sega dropping the ball, do you think?
Well, I think it's because all of these people that have been arguing about the whole Sonic game remakes and the make a proper Sonic game and make a proper Streets of Rage game, and all they've been doing, and all these fans have been doing, like even myself, look, just fucking give it to the fans and let the fans fucking do it. And that's what they've done.
That was Sonic. Yep.
And that's what they've done.
Yep.
So
And if they can do that with their most prized IP, then they can do it with the others. Sure.
I just want to see. Now they got Streets of Rage. You got to bring back the Golden Axe. Come on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think that's another
Beast Rider, please.
I mean, I think some games do work moving into 3D, especially driving games. And I suppose you could probably argue something like a Space Harrier or something like that would work in
Afterburner,
3D.
maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, they did do a remake of that. Well, not remake, but a new version.
Climax.
In the arcades, yeah. You can get on that Android tablet as well. Actually.
And you can get on the PS3, but you need to crack it in order to play the game.
I guard my 360 jealousy, my hard drive for the 360 jealousy, because it's still got Climax and Outrun Arcade on it.
Yeah, I've got Outrun Arcade and I've got like Scott Pilgrim and stuff like that on there, you know, like, you know, the ones that they've taken away. But they're giving it to the fans, and I think that's so important because Sega are a new company and the things they're pumping out are pretty good. If you look at like the Yakuza series and the Valkyrie Chronicles, you know, for the right people, they're brilliant games. Carry on making that. You know, there was even hardcore fans for the 3D Sonic games, and I like some of them, but obviously I'm much more of a fan of the Manias.
Did you say in a poll, Nights into Dreams beat Streets of Rage?
It did.
That's really surprising because everyone.
You got to think of all those fan forums, man. I bet if you go on DeviantArt and type in Nights and Streets of Rage, I bet you get a lot more results for Nights, wouldn't you? And they're the people that are going to know about these polls.
I really want to be doing a 2.5D loop to loop for 5 hours. No thanks.
Third place wasn't Echo.
No, it wasn't.
The story, the inspiration of that game is a lot more entertaining than the fucking game.
That was a great video, Dan. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
thanks.
A lot of dolphin hand jobs in that one.
I'll tell you what, here's a little story for you. So
Grab your bottle nose.
I went up to go and see Sega for the first time, and I'm obviously like crazy excited and all that sort of stuff. And I changed my channel, like the front page, to make it look very, I mean, it is very Sega heavy already, wasn't it? So I didn't have to do too much. But yeah, I went in there and he was introducing me to all like their video editors and all this sort of stuff. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we really like your videos. You put all this effort in with your complete histories." I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." That Echo video though, it wasn't. I was like, "Oh yeah, no, that one was a little bit weird." But what's funny is, and what annoys me actually, not too much annoys me, but everyone thinks that Larry made that video. He didn't. Obviously, that's my video, and I put it on Larry's channel. So I was on to put it on his channel. So fair enough. If you go into like most Reddit posts that are talking about it, everyone always relates it back to Larry's channel because that's the one with the 100,000 odd views. So when it got re-uploaded, because both of ours got demonetized because I was stupid and put "fuck" in the title, I only put it back up on his channel, not on mine. I'm okay with that. But what's really cool is Ed Annunziata. He's the guy that created it. And he put out a post when I created my Echo the Dolphin complete history, not the one, the one where I just talk about the games. And he actually said, like, "Oh, finally, someone's talking about this and not all of that stuff before." And I was like, "Oh, he thinks that Larry did it as well. That's quite cool." So words around, and then he became a patron of mine as well. So that worked.
Sega also they released 2 Point Hospital yesterday.
They did indeed. They did indeed. But that was never them in the first place, was it? But still.
No, I mean, they just published it. It seems to have got a good reaction.
It has, yes. Actually,
I really enjoyed playing the demo of it.
Yeah, I need to get hold of them and ask for a copy of that because that looks. When I've got time to play it, I think that would be quite cool.
And it begs the question that lots of the 8-bit and 16-bit games that we know, a lot of them are forgotten. Imagine what they would be like if they had like an update. And one of the ones that I've always thought in my head would be great for an update, really good for a modern update. It's a platformer, it's exploration. It was great in the day, a great story and great visuals. Imagine a 3D full world Switchblade, for instance.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say Roland.
No, I wasn't going to say no. Roland on the ropes.
Oh yeah,
I'd love a Switchblade.
But a switch, imagine that. You kind of have to put yourself in a position basically a bit like the kind of atmosphere, a manga style atmosphere, dark, kind of Batman-ish, but more like, stealthy ninja kind of thing.
Yeah, in many ways, Switchblade was Metroid.
If it was 3D and exploration, I think it would be incredible to do a modern Switchblade.
I would love to see a remake.
I like the idea.
I would love to see a rebirth of Xenophobe. That'd be awesome.
God, I haven't played that game in years.
Oh yeah. Well, you could say that maybe Alien Isolation was kind of like Xenophobe. All right.
Trump edition.
Jumping. Yeah.
What do you think about the Switchblade idea, Al?
Oh no, I like it. I think that's a great idea. The problem is it doesn't really have the fan base. Do you think?
No, but you don't need it. I don't think you need it.
They made a movie about Rampage, didn't they, recently?
Well, even if people in the past don't know what Switchblade was, you could say this is a new game. A bit like, for instance, when Wii U came out with Zombie U. Yeah, no one had ever heard of that, and even though it was actually a sequel to Ubisoft's first game on the 8-bit, no one actually knew that.
Yeah, or maybe Prince of Persia as well.
Switchblade. I think Switchblade was a game just before its time. Like, I think if it had come out when did it come out? What, 89, 90?
89, 90, yeah.
Yeah. I think if it had come out in like 92, with like Amiga and that is like its main platform or whatever, it'd have been massive. I mean, it was pretty successful as it was, but it'd been like massively successful and probably got ported to like consoles and that, and it would have a much bigger following now because there weren't that many games doing that kind of manga-y style.
No,
certainly not European games. That was very different.
I think there was a Switchblade too, though, wasn't there?
There was.
Yeah. I think it hit an Amiga. But,
the Switchblade
come on, guys.
is Metroid-ish in exploration. And you expand that kind of Metroid dynamic of being exploration, but in that manga setting. You see, and I think modern technology would work wonders on that idea. It's not the game itself; it's the idea behind the game.
Yeah.
You know.
See, this is where obviously who knows what other companies are going to be taking over this whole, like, you know, letting the fans create these games, because Metroid's a good one, because another Metroid 2 remake, I believe, is 10 times better than the Metroid 2 one that we got on the 3DS. The 3DS one was good, but that another Metroid 2 remake was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. They're not going to do it with that game, obviously, but and also what's really cool is the guy that made that is actually working on the new Ori and the Blind Forest, or Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which is my favorite Metroidvania game of all time. So yeah, so let's ask then, one game that's never had any sequel, a one-off game, what do you want to see remade?
Ooh.
I would love to see a rendition of Chuck and the Forever Man that isn't complete shit, because the art style and the atmosphere is fantastic, but the combat and the jumping is so fucking clunky. It'd be cool to see a reimagining of that.
Oh, that would be good. That would be a very good one.
Really good one. I don't know. God.
Everyone's a Wally 2.
But Chakan was an amazing concept for a game.
It's really good. Really good.
That was Ed Annunziata too, I believe.
It was?
I think so. If I remember rightly.
I believe
it years ago. One of my first videos I did Chakan.
Anyone else want to grab one? Top out you're raking your mind for a game that's really obscure and it's only got one release.
Oh no, there's what I say it time and time again. I've always wanted to see a Plock 2. Plock is such a perfect game. Love it.
We obviously all agree.
Plumbers don't ties to.
Plumbers don't wear ties to. We should make that.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'd pay money for that.
Answering on what we was talking about earlier, Larry Bundy actually says technically Ninja Bread Man is the third Switchblade if you go from its lineage. Okay. I always look at that as the I don't know how many more things that was before it was, but before it became the game. But I always remember that being like the unofficial Zool game, wasn't it? Before it got changed, but whatever.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
For me, I think it's a really obvious one, but I think Rystar. I'd like to see way forward the people that done that Shantae games. I'd like to see them.
Yeah.
I think they could pull off a Rystar game.
I'd like the guys who did the recent Gianna Sisters game to do other stuff that's not reskinning their own game to add fucking Bubsy the Bobcat into it.
It wasn't them. I didn't look into that, but I thought, I wonder if this is them. Oh my god, yeah.
Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams was really good.
Yeah, I got that on PS4. I bought that. I thought that was cool. Anyone else want to?
Sequel to Silkworm would be interesting.
Double
shooting dynamic.
So yeah, people are
that'd be an interesting sequel with modern styles.
Would you make like a hybrid of Silkworm and Swift?
No, because Swift is top down, isn't it?
Yeah, you could go like from top down to side on.
Silkworm is side on, so you could differ in a modern style. Maybe you could differentiate between the helicopter and the jeep, or something like that. It's an interesting game.
Hardcore. You have like one side you control the helicopter, and the one side the jeep.
I was always interested by Silkworm's dynamic back then. No.
Larry's saying Green Dog 2. He always goes on about Green Dog. I don't know who's asking for Green Dog.
That would be Joe from GameSack's pick.
Would it?
Oh yeah, he loves Green Dog.
Renegade series has been abandoned. Saboteur from Weebob. Pixels Limited.
Clive Townsend's doing that.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's doing some sort of Saboteur.
Yeah, he's at the moment. Yeah.
Nam VVHO saying Killer 7. Weebob, where did all the ninja games go? Well, actually, I'll tell you what, the 3DS version of Shinobi is actually a very good game. They should remake Time Splitters, MGTV says.
I'd really like to see a sequel to Snake Roy on the Mega Duck.
Back in your brain for something like
that would be a good one. That's insane.
Saying that, Dan, they've actually I can't remember what company, maybe Devolver Digital just picked up the rights to Time Splitters, so you may get your wish.
I mean, I think that's a banker.
Oh yeah,
big time. 3D Dizzy by Dylan Barry. Obviously, we are getting a new Dizzy game, but it's not a 3D Dizzy. I don't know if I ever want to see 3D Dizzy go 3D.
I don't know. You know what? After seeing the PS2 trailer, I was excited to see that, but maybe not now. I think they're going with the 2D. Stick with the 2D. Neil on Retro Man Cave just said Ninja Scooter Simulator 2. That's brilliant.
I want to see a sequel to Ninja Hunter on the ZX Spectrum.
Pixels Limited is giving Plock, saying Plock is madly underrated. TBH.
Great music. Tim Follin. If they could
Yes,
get
it
Tim
does.
Follin to do the
Shapy Fiend, me and Shapy Fiend are having a little disagreement saying that Total Annihilation 2 never came out. Yes, it. Oh no, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Oh dear.
I'm
There
wrong.
is a
I'm
Total
wrong.
Annihilation 2 mod where
Where
someone just, yeah, there's a mod, but there isn't the full game.
What was one that Supreme Commando? I'm thinking.
Oh,
Supreme
yeah.
Commander 2.
Fucking
That's a
love
very
that
good
game.
game.
Here's
Very
what
fucking
I'd
good
love
game.
to see: a new No One Lives Forever.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
It's a
I
shame
keep
that
saying,
the
oh,
game
yeah,
is
I lost
fucking
something.
white as hell.
Addy Sneaker Freak Power Stone 3, please. Oh yes. There's not enough. Just fucking port Power Stone to like as a download game for like the Xbox or something. I'd be all about that. That'd be awesome.
I've been racking my brains. If you'd seen me, I've been looking at my shelves trying to find the game. There was one I featured recently. It's completely gone from my mind. But one game I would choose, which has kind of been done, is Chase HQ.
It's behind you.
Driver.
Yeah, it's if you fast forward a few years, I think was it Need for Speed Most Wanted had like a cop car chasing other vehicles and you had to smash them off the road type thing. But no, I want a proper Chase HQ remake, and ignoring the Chase HQ 2 arcade that came out a few years ago. But I'll go Chase HQ for me.
Saying that, I just recently reviewed Dungeon Siege, and I would love to see a proper sequel to Dungeon Siege, not the shit that we got on the last time. So yeah, that'd be awesome.
I remember Overboard on the PS1. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, fucking love that game. I played it recently.
Great.
Yeah.
Such an underrated little game.
Hey, ship 'em up.
Yeah, ship them up. I love that. That was like one of the first games. That was on like the demo, like the PS1 demo.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was one of the first few games I got when I got my PS1. I played it to death. It was awesome.
It's really fun still.
So I'm going to pick and choose some of these questions because there's like physical arcade machines, blah blah blah. But I'm going to try and continue on roughly with what we're talking about ish. Try and move it in slightly. Obviously, official and unofficial repros in retro gaming. If you want to talk about our thoughts with that, basically, I did see Rerez put up a video recently of this sexy little R-Type 3 and R-Type whatever one of the other ones is in this little compilation SNES cart in this beautiful big box. And they were charging like 60 quid for this game for the Super Nintendo. Like
pretty fair.
What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on official repros and unofficial repros?
The only thing
think
with
it's cool.
repros is that every time one is done, unloved sports game dies. Feels bad, man.
Well, you know, yeah. It's a noble sacrifice. I think they're cool, for people,
Save the
super
John
fans that really want it.
Yeah.
No, fuck John Madden. But yeah, I like the idea. It's a cool thing for the person who really, really wants it. Me, as an ex-collector, I don't want to hear that shit anymore. But if I saw, like, say with Resident Evil 2, the new one coming out, if they brought out a PS1 case-looking cover, I probably would pick it up.
Yeah, I remember I purposely bought my copy of Wipeout for the PlayStation 4 on eBay just because it had the slipcase, and then I was like, "Oh, it's not." I thought it was an actual proper dual case, and
No,
then
it's not.
It was a slipcase.
No.
Yeah, I was annoyed by that. I thought it'd be wicked to have a proper.
They had a proper plastic case. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, that particular Rerez video, which is good, guys. By the way, anyone who hasn't watched, go watch. He's a good guy as well. Old Shane. See, I'm sort of in the same boat. I probably wouldn't buy that R-Type game because I would just prefer to either emulate it or go and get the original cartridge. But because I'm a little bit of a completionist with trying to collect stuff, the other game that they released is a game called Holy Diver for the NES, and that's a game that never came out in the UK. So now, if I get that, then I'm going to want to get the R-Type one as well. So that's the way my mind works. So
See, I think that's
I've not
great
heard it
because,
either.
as you said, that game was never released, so there's a reason for it to come out. But there's others which I don't understand at all. Like they re-released the original version of Street Fighter 2 and charged
100.
in really limited quantity and charged a fortune when you can just buy an original cart for like £10.
That's I am 8-bit though. They love putting their prices up big time.
Like,
Yeah, they
what
jack
sort-
it up.
why? They just, I don't get those products. Basically, it's like why?
So here's a good comparison on it, right? So I can't imagine these cartridges, these official reproduction cartridges, cost much different depending on who's making them. But there's ones over on PlayAsia that have got like 4 games in them, and they've got things. What are those called? Caveman games. I can't remember. Yeah, Joe and Mac. They had like Joe and Mac and a couple of other games on there, and they're about $25 for those on a proper NES cart and a little case, all that sort of stuff. And then, like Top Hat says, they've done Street Fighter 2, which is just Street Fighter 2. I mean, you know, they're not beating around the bush. It's definitely a reproduction. I'd say it is, but then that's 100.
Yeah.
Why is one 100 and one 25? Surely they don't cost that much difference to
It's
make.
common.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it for rare games. I understand it for games that weren't released in, like, were only released in Japan. I understand it for unreleased games. For common games, you sure?
And also, why the worst version of Street Fighter? Why not Street Fighter Turbo or Super Street Fighter Turbo? 2 Turbo, sorry. Do you know what I mean?
For 2.
Well, surely they would be able to fit a couple of them on the cartridge, surely.
Yeah, it's the worst one out of the 4 options you've got on the Super Nintendo.
I mean, I don't need to tell them what they're doing because obviously it's sold out.
I mean, that original Street Fighter 2 is, I mean, it's certainly, I mean, especially for like us, like folk, it's very nostalgic because it was like the first like real pack-in game, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was how I mean, when I got my SNES, it was the Street Fighter 2 pack-in, so that did gangbusters. I'm not sure how nostalgic the SNES Street Fighter 2 is for Americans.
See, look, there we go. I found it. So the Data East Classic Collection on the Super Nintendo is $22 on PlayAsia, and that's got Fighters History. I'm assuming 2. Something a pool game. I don't know what that is. Magical Drop and Magical Drop 2. So that's 5 games. That's $22. But then if you go over to I Am 8-bit, it's $100 because it's Street Fighter 2. You know.
Ouch.
Is anyone buying it though to have it as a product, or did they make them in a finite, limited supply, and then just people bought them to just sell on and stick on eBay for a fortune? Like, does anyone actually want it?
Before you said the sell them on eBay, Larry actually did buy it just to have it.
There's one.
Well, people are obviously buying them. If people keep buying them, they'll keep making them. It's supply and demand.
Absolutely,
100%. But is it a pyramid supply and demand scheme?
Well, more and more people are doing it, aren't they? And honestly, guys, run over to PlayAsia, spend 10 minutes looking. You'll find anything you want reproduction for £8, and I don't care. That's fine, isn't it? And that's where I go if I want to buy Tetris for the Mega Drive. But there may be someone else incoming in this phone call.
Yes.
Ooh.
Who's it going to be?
Who's it going to be? Is it going to be me again? Who knows? Right. So yeah. Opinions then. There's no final opinions on these reproduction carts.
Yeah, again, I just don't understand if like common games is all paying £100 for Street Fighter 2 seems stupid.
Yeah. If it was honestly, if I was a massive fan of the series, which I'm not, if they managed to put like several versions of Street Fighter 2 on one cartridge and sell it as a little collection on the SNES, I understand, and they could easily have done that. But £100 for a game, like you say, that's incredibly common. It's like me spending £100 on Sonic the Hedgehog 2 just because it's a limited edition version, which actually I probably would do.
You would.
There you go.
That was a bad
as I was saying that out of my mouth, I'm like, careful, Daniel, careful. Okay. I suppose we move on to another little topic.
Comments and questions tonight.
Oh yeah, someone take over and talk to the crowd. Talk to the listeners while I find a good question for you, but don't all do it at once.
Oh, you come here often?
No. Someone please talk to the crowd. Read the comments.
Okay, I'll have a go. I will have some reading time. Froban says he wants Panzer Dragoon Saga, even just Sega selling the ISO file somehow because of their incompetence.
I just keep reading comments. I'm loving hearing you just read the comments. So good.
Ali Sneaker Freak said a good one.
Go on.
A Turrican sequel. That's interesting.
Mm.
Turrican 3 would it be or 4?
I know. I lost count of the Turrican 2.
3 was that. 3 was Mega Turrican.
Yeah, Mega Turrican. So it'd be Super Turrican Ultimate 4.
I think there's always been, because I'm pretty sure that Manfred owns it. Again,
Manfred Trends, isn't it?
And it's like, is he going to do anything with it or what? Thing is, I don't know. I think he's kind of he's not exactly in contact with things. He's kind of an irascible man, from what I've heard of him. So who knows?
Oh, Larry in the chat says Turrican 4 is in development, according to Mr. Bundy Jr.
Really? Didn't know that.
It'd be awesome. Absolutely.
You always learn something from that.
3 was on the Amiga. Yeah, I thought there was a Turrican 3. Yeah.
Turrican 3 payment day.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll move into talking about us as YouTubers, as we all have YouTube channels, and we'll start with something a little bit funny. We'll do the trolliest and the funniest comments you've had on your videos. Anyone got anything that stands out for them?
Oh no!
Every time someone's called me either Elmer Fudd, the vicar or the priest from Princess Bride, Jonathan Ross, the Roman emperor who says like bigger stickers. I'd be a millionaire. Oh, and what's his name from Big Bang Theory? Kripke.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, so.
And none of us laugh, just like when we watched a fucking show. Can't stand that show. Does my head in.
I've never even seen it.
It's cancelled now, Scott, so I'm sure you rejoice.
It's ha ha ha. Autism is funny. That's what it is. Exactly. Yeah, it's not funny.
It's not, Scott. What are you saying?
Oh, fucking hell.
Right, I'm looking on my phone for.
Oh, I've got one.
Here we go. So basically, go on. No, you go first. Go on.
Very, very early in my channel. This is when I first started it, and this is before I even had a theme of what I was doing. I was just making videos of games that friends of mine were saying, "Oh, play this. It'll be funny. Play that. It'll be funny." It was that back in the day where angry game YouTubers were about, that shit. Anyway. I played a game. It was a Nintendo DS game called Pivot Funnel. Horse riding and shit. So
class.
Yeah. So I'm playing a game. Of course, I'm having fun with it because it's just dumb anyway. It's just pandering to that certain demographic. And then I got a comment on this video, and I don't know if it was trolling or completely tone deaf because it was from a Pivot Funnel fan channel. But she said, "Do you know how ignorant you are of horses?" It's like, yes, I do. It's like, and that comment has stuck with me since. That must have been about. No shit.
I got a comment just the other day. It was on my one of my classic gaming TV vids, and it said, very badly written, "Gamesville was the best in your shit." From the world's only Gamesville fanboy. Shout outs to Pete MC if you're in the chat. Gamesville's #1 fan.
I'm trying to go back through I actually put one up on Twitter the other day. It was incredible. It actually made me laugh. Like someone was really laying into me. Here it is. Here we go. Yeah. So obviously when I'm reading my script, sometimes I'm like, when I do at the start of a sentence, I'm like, no, go into like my deeper thing towards the end, like normally when I'm breaking down the end of a joke or something, Sugar Bunny's Cute wrote, "This channel is awful. It took 2+ minutes to get to the actual info, and the guy sounds like he's struggling to push turds out of his throat the entire time." That was a genuine. Finally went up to bed at 2 a.m. after editing and just burst into fucking laughter in the middle.
Didn't you just get like 50,000 comments about Streets of Rage 4 from someone?
Oh, it's fucking insane. Like, here we go. I got it ready. Look, this.
Yeah.
This one, is it not showing? No, it's not going to show.
Not really.
It's not going to show.
It's like it's probably the biggest TLDR I've ever seen in my life.
It was. It's just amazing.
Yeah, there we go. It's just, it doesn't stop. It's all that one guy over and over. Oh, no, I'm getting the wrong way. Sorry. Yeah, it's all that one. It doesn't stop. It's literally endless. I read them all as well.
Wow. Well, that's going to do wonders for the algorithm.
The time he took to write all those comments, he could have made his own successful YouTube channel.
It's still going, genuine. Oh,
Fucking hell.
But it was all because
Jesus.
My word.
he's done it a few times, but never that excessively. It's because I don't normally do the whole opinion videos, and I did for Streets of Rage 4, obviously, because it's Streets of Rage 4. And he took real gripe in me saying I don't like the idea it's called Streets of Rage 4 because it's always going to live under the shadow of 1, 2, and 3. You know, like that. I would have loved it if it had been Terminator 1, Terminator 2, and then a lot of other films. But there's Terminator 3. You know what I mean? I just in my mind, I always wanted it to be 1, 2, 3, and then new games, like Streets of Rage Mania or whatever they might call it. And because he just fucking went apeshit on that, he wrote a lot of angry comments about that. I'm talking to people on Messenger right now about the game. Nobody gives fuck about the name. Let's see Nick Games go hard. That's all they singing. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, carry on with what you're saying, you illiterate cunt.
Oh, boom.
Yeah,
he gave some suggestions. Actually, he said, "Why don't? What about we call it Pepsi Man?" So, where is this? Let's call. Yeah, here we go. Let's call the Streets of Rage Revenge. Let's call the Streets of Rage Reborn. No. Let's call these all different comments. Call in Streets of Rage In the Light. No, I got another one. Let's call Streets of Rage Rage Broken Knuckles. I'm throwing names in here. And then someone else managed to get a comment in. Yeah, it's fucking nuts. But yeah,
he wants to stop.
People said, "Are you going to delete him?" Like, no, my algorithm loves him.
Why would I delete him? YouTube algorithm likes comments.
Please. Nate Joe, tell all your friends.
Wow, if I remember another one, there was one guy who was a British expat living in Japan, and he had the fucking gall to call me a yokel. I was like, really? I live in the country, you cunt. No fucking shit, I'm a yokel. Damn.
I'm not in Japan feeling up yokels on trains.
No, but then he was like, he started giving me shit like, oh, my channel's bigger than yours and all this sort of stuff. So I had a little
That's the worst thing you could say to him.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, really? Okay. So I had a little perusal. Yes, he had more subscribers, but he had less views. So, of course, he was buying the fuckers. And then secondly, his content was just that he would put like a slideshow and then put some sort of shitty England football song on top of it. And that was his content. It's like, and you have the tendency to give me shit? Nah. Yeah, do one, mate.
What was it? You, Topper? Have you ever had any negative comments? Topper?
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I was reading my negative comments.
So that's what I'm saying. Have you ever had any negative comments, Top Hat?
Yeah, obviously it's constantly like all I have to do is go held to review, and then I've got a new list every day. But one I got earlier, this was yesterday, which I responded to. Someone's wrote, by colony, you must be exclusively talking about Canada and Australia because of an ex-colony known as the United States of America. Whooped you guys candy asses.
In the rock.
Well, all right, calm down, Dwayne Johnson.
250-year-old beef.
I responded with, the USA cannot have kicked the Empire's ass. Otherwise, Canada would not exist. And we would not have marched into Washington and burned down the White House.
Your house down. I just remember that line from In the Loop. We burnt this motherfucker down in 1803. I'm all for doing it again.
I suppose the better question then would be, have you ever had any positive comments, Top Hat?
Again.
Not the ones you reply to.
No, boring.
Speaking about Heat Magnet, have any of you guys had the ire of Anita Sarkeesian?
No.
Raise your hands if you have.
Yeah.
No.
You've had it personally, Scott. How come?
Oh, yeah. a long time ago, I did a video about eroge games, those fucking horrible, shitty fucking porn games.
Yeah.
And so I basically read them for a good 20 minutes. But of course, it's sexist to talk about anything that may be vaguely gender specific. So yeah, that's when she starts ribbing me on Twitter. Next thing you know, I try and reply to her, basically just tell her to go fuck herself in 3 different ways as quickly as possible. She blocked me.
Of course.
She carried on tagging my name and Twitter, saying that this person and about 20 other people were sexist. I was like, yeah,
She's a bully.
Thank you for the views, bitch.
yeah, blow out your ass.
Is it? I don't know. It's probably the same for all you guys, but I constantly get on YouTube accusations that I'm an SJW or I'm far right, one or the other.
Yeah.
See, as someone who kind of used to be a part of the SJW sphere, I mean,
Ooh.
yeah, it's a mess. So, so yeah,
We've had a good talk.
people always.
We
Sorry?
The only thing you can't fight
that,
for is
Chris?
the right to party.
I said we've had a good chat about that at Blackpool,
Yeah.
didn't we?
So yeah, I mean, I have first-hand knowledge of it being such a mess. Yeah, people just say shit to someone and then block them, so they can't respond back.
There's a lot of there's a lot of toxicity in that side of things.
There's there's fucking shit everywhere. It's just like
Talking about comments,
post on Twitter.
I don't know. I think it might be because of the genre that me and Al side on that we generally don't get too much bad comments.
I know why that is, but yeah, go on.
But the only negative ones I've got are from basically the same troll farm. I call them. Scott's aware of these. And you've had a run in with these as well, Rich.
Yeah, I know.
The troll farm. You
Yes.
know what I say when I say the troll farm.
Yes.
Funky spectrum.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it, but that is exactly what it is. Yeah, I've had a lot of them.
He's going to hate one of my next videos. It's going to
Is it
absolutely
one
obliterate his
person,
entire
though?
He
channel.
hates Retrounlim latest video.
Say that again, Dan.
He's going to hate one of my next kick scammer videos.
Ooh.
Oh,
It's going to be completely obliterating everything he's been working up to. And but hey, perhaps if he did accept that friend's request instead of turning it into some kind of negative "fuck you" to me, then he could have been involved. But, you know.
Well, I just said that then in hope he will put me over in his videos and down the line because negative press.
Let's get some
That's
clout.
the thing. Like, I genuinely added the guy on Facebook because I wanted to work with him because I thought, oh, this man knows a lot about a particular thing that I'm going to be talking about. So maybe one day it'd be cool if we got together. I know he's a bit of a cunt, but I thought it'd be quite cool if we, I always give everyone a second chance. I always make my own decision, and then he never accepted. Whatever. Some people don't.
He's a fucking party political broadcaster.
And then somehow he used that to take the piss out of me that I sent him a friend's request. I'm like, whoa, you want to play fucking ball? Let's do this. Like,
Yeah,
Kim, you got 3 videos made about you,
I did. Yes.
and 2, I think, made about you, Rich.
Yep. Indeed.
Brilliant. I mean, you've
Oh.
won. You've done it. You've achieved.
It was an unholy mess.
Over the last few days on my Twitter feed, I had all of these negative comments, which were all framed pretty similarly by almost dead YouTube accounts with only like 8 comments ever.
Yeah, it's consistently fake accounts, and that's the only abuse I ever get is from these obvious fake accounts. So I ever get, like, whatever. Block.
I've never seen you get any abuse though, Chris. So where was this on your videos or Twitter?
I fill them out.
You feel them?
They're all flagged on filter tags out, so they
I very rarely ban
Out
some
of
my
interest, what are
comments.
they attacking you over? Is it because you do too much Amstrad, or
No, because I'm part of the group. They had this idea that we're all part of a group.
the YouTube circle jerk?
Myself, Scott,
They don't like
Rick,
his friend.
and Larry,
The mafia.
Lim, and
Me.
all of us, and Pete, and the Cajonas Dolores, and Shock 16. We're all part of this YouTube troll group.
Massive conspiracy.
They're all
Funny, innit?
fucking crazy. The worst one is not actually him himself. It's one of his real name is called Jamie. I know his real name's Jamie because he's talked about it on one of his live streams.
What was it you said
go
the
by
other
the
night,
name.
Rich? You said you don't believe he exists. Or
I
something.
know,
I've heard all of these sort of rumors. Like he's not even a real person. He's a man who plays a troll. He's not even.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
It could possibly be that.
I've heard this.
Anyway,
It's not worth talking
we all
about.
know what we're talking about, and the people out there probably don't. But we'll keep the negativity going because that's quite an interesting topic. Because one of the more recent things that's been happening to YouTubers is the whole IGN/WatchMojo/plagiarism
Oh,
stuff.
yes.
And I'm sure we've got plenty of opinions.
And then the guy decides to be and act like a complete prick afterwards.
Yes. Well, you know what? I think
Bravo.
that it's a really hard thing because obviously everyone just laid into him, and you watch it and you're like, "Fuck me!" There's no way you didn't watch that video. You know, like I'm looking my way back before he got.
I have to say, being fair to IGN, when it was all found out, they were not slow to kick that motherfucker to the curb.
Yeah,
but the thing is, okay. So what I want to say is though, I remember thinking to myself, everyone was fucking laying into this guy, and I was like, come on, give the guy a bit of a break, because we all take from resources to make our content, especially the people that make history videos. You know, I don't know this stuff off the top of my head. I have to go out there to find a magazine or an article or something to get this information. But you've got to be clever with it. You don't rewrite.
There's a difference.
You don't just change, this with that from a Wikipedia article. You've actually got to be clever with it. And
but there's a difference between getting sources and flat out plagiarizing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I did think he's made a mistake. Fucking kick him a little bit and then just let him go. And then I realized he'd done it for so fucking long and he didn't properly apologize. And then from that point on, I was like, no, fuck this guy.
Especially
so my mind changed afterwards.
Some of the in-depth videos I've seen, the rabbit hole goes way deep with that guy. He just he just ripped off everybody. It was fucking shocking. But
I remember seeing his little video he put up, and he's like, Katako, keep looking. I was like, don't say that. Don't say that, because they will, and they did, and they found tons.
But something I found really interesting out of the whole conversation, Grace Kramer, who is the girlfriend of, I forgot his name, Stop Skeletons from Fighting.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Derek, Derek Alexander. And she said something that was probably the most righteous thing I've ever heard out of all this. It's like, we've all, as a reviewers especially, we've all plagiarized in our own way before, because how many people have quoted stuff from Wikipedia? And I was like, holy shit, you're right. Yeah, there's been and you can, and now I'm trying to get I don't do that shit anymore. I used to when I started doing reviewing games.
The thing is, everyone's got this negativity thing against Wikipedia, but as a retro game historian, I don't know what you want to call it, but people that look up, make this sort of stuff, you do run to Wikipedia normally as your first chance, but then it's important not to just take what's written there as gospel. You do have to go to the links and see where these sources are coming from.
As a resource and a suppository for information, it's great, but as long as you don't quote the exact word.
As long as that's not your end. I mean, like for me, like when I do research for my vids, first thing I do is go to Wikipedia. But the main reason why I go there is because there might be like an interesting tidbit there, and then from that interesting tidbit, I will research
everything else.
And I will look at the sources cited, because every Wikipedia article has a list of sources cited at the bottom, and I go look at those.
Yeah, exactly. And you do get it from the odd thing where it's like there's a quote from whoever it is talking about this particular thing, and it goes to an article, and that's no longer there. And then you have to really start digging, whether you go to the Wayback Machine or whatever.
Go to the old magazines,
Google caches and stuff.
Yeah. All that sort of thing. If there's interviews around.
You will see me pop up in random forums saying like, oh, everyone's talking about this Zool free game. Does this actually exist? And, like that, because they're talking about it. They're going to an article, and that article doesn't exist. So I've got to go to forums and ask people to come back. That's how you use Wikipedia. I think Wikipedia is one of the fucking best things on the internet. Yeah, it really is. For as much negativity as it gets, like I think that's just because people read what they see written on there,
Yeah, that's the worst thing. But
did you see yesterday? It turned out GameSpot were nicking word-for-word reviews from Nintendo Life from about 10 years ago, but it's literally only been noticed now.
No, but like there's a big difference between taking inspiration and straight up copying.
Yes. And that Dead Cells review was 100% copied.
Yeah, and I've taken inspiration from people I've watched. Normally, when I'm making a video, I will watch someone else's take on that game. I think probably the most I did on that was my Phantasmagoria video from last year. I was watching fucking Pushing Up Rose's video of it. Then after a little while, I was typing away. I was realizing that I was actually copying what she was saying. Like, no, scale that back, put it into your own words, stop being fucking lazy. So it's very easy to fall into that trap. But
when you consume, because I mean, especially like, I see some of Rosa's when it comes to like those sort of games, she's very much about her business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you consume too much, like then you're suddenly, shit, I'm writing in her voice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, there you go. Anyone else got any opinions on this dead cell thing? You made a video on it, I believe, didn't you, Top?
Yeah, I'd cut out the video on it quite early in the whole process. And the main thing I stated, am I still here? My screen's gone a bit strange.
Yeah, you're there.
Okay. Yes, the main thing I stated was that the guy is going to be punished. He's probably going to lose his job, which he did.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be constantly reminded about this thing probably for a long, long time going forward. So I just advised the internet to just leave him alone because you're essentially kicking a man when he's already dead on the floor. So
and he already hung himself.
Exactly. It was over. So why carry on kicking a dead man?
But I think after that, there was a lot more that came out, wasn't there?
After.
I mean, me and you, we was talking about it before that video went up. Yeah. There you go, guys. There you go. I didn't look up any other comment, any other. Oh, someone else might be joining in a minute, apparently. Any other questions to ask? Because I was really into that one. I thought that was a good one. I think we did well with that. That was good. So please, someone read some comments from our awesome watchers while I look up another good question.
Comments and questions tonight. Let me have a look. See. Let's have a look. Boban says this was why Gamergate was formed before it was stolen and molded by SJWs. Gamergate molded by SJWs. I've always kind of, as someone who was quite into the whole Gamergate thing when it was around, I've always kind of thought about doing a video about the whole thing. Oh boy.
The internet is an elephant. Ego chip. There you go. There you go.
Never forgets.
Makes it like David Icke.
All right, that's what there we go. All right, I see.
The reviews were literally copied word for word. Damien McFerrin and Sean Musgrove were talking about it yesterday on Twitter. I have to look at this, guys. I did not hear about it.
Damien's a fantastic Twitter handle to follow. Really, really good.
Andrew Dalton says that he loves the fact Top Hat's laying down.
Yeah, I saw that. He's like literally just chilling. Right, okay, let me ask some more questions. Right, okay, so what has been your most enjoyable part of creating retro gaming content?
Meeting everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Again, to be a part of like an awesome community, like doing the expos and everything. Larry's here.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. How's everybody going?
Hello, you.
Hello.
Hello, you.
Hello. Can you see my camera?
No.
No.
Fuck.
That's the way it starts.
Wait.
Oh,
You don't get this on other podcasts. Right.
What was the question again, Dan?
Most enjoyable part of the whole creating retro gaming
Oh,
content.
yeah. No, like Kim says, it probably is just meeting all you guys and loads. I mean, I can't I've lost count of the amount of different people I've met over this. It's and also I'll tell you what another really rewarding part of it is. From where I stem my channel from, finding out things I thought I knew a lot about, and then finding a lot more about that subject.
Yeah, absolutely.
Through research and playing more games and talking to people.
Wikipedia.
And well, yeah. That and other things. But you know what I mean? It's like I think I know a lot about this subject, and then all of a sudden, shit, never knew that.
Yeah.
Never knew that. And you bounce a lot of ideas off people, and I find that really rewarding.
Yes, absolutely. I think we're all pretty much the same, aren't we, in this regard? It's fucking awesome when you go to events and whatever else, and people come up and shake your hand and stuff.
I mean,
like that.
yeah, God. I mean, it took me like so long. I mean, like Manchester last year was like the first real like event like that I did, and actually like getting to meet people there and having done like all the Play Expos since. That's always been the best thing. Like, especially like London, like just gone. I mean, I didn't get a chance to play any games, pretty much. I think I played like a few over the weekend, but the best.
Nah, I didn't like the London event at all. It was cool meeting people, and the digitizer panel was fun, but the actual event in our nation's capital was probably not for me.
What do you think they could have improved?
What was wrong with it? I didn't get a chance to go this year, so
It needed. Well, the problem is with replay events. Here we go again. Is that they constantly make the same convention, and it doesn't matter which size of the building it is. We're building like the print works. They could have put so much more shit in there, but they didn't. And
Weren't allowed to.
Well, yeah, but there was also so many people gathering in these little arcades, especially. Even though the arcade was quite a decent size, it just, not for me. I prefer Blackpool.
I don't think there was ever too long of a queue.
Sunday
No.
was nice and quiet.
Yeah,
Well, no, I know my opinion was in the minority, so yeah, whatever.
I mean, London was the busiest. Like,
without a doubt.
Big time.
Yeah.
I was busy like all the time on that one. But I mean, as far as like my favorite of all the places like replay events go to, it has to be Blackpool.
I prefer Blackpool.
The question is, why does Blackpool work so well?
Because you can chill out in the bar when you.
Shithole!
Also,
Without sounding pervy, it's intimate in a way.
It is super intimate, Blackpool.
You've got this very close dynamic of where the arena is and where the chill out area is, and you kind of you're sort of felicitating between the two, and it's very calm. You feel so relaxed. You don't feel like you're rushing off somewhere.
No,
and I think that was the problem with big events like London and Manchester. You feel like you have to rush off somewhere all the time. But with Blackpool, you don't get that. It's much more relaxed. You're going at your own pace. If you're going to bump into someone, you're bound to bump into them in the bar.
I actually quite like Glasgow as well. I mean, Glasgow is probably the smallest one, but again, you're not far from like places where you can have a little bit of a rest.
I like Glasgow because even though it seemed like it was the furthest away, but it felt like the furthest away as well. It just felt like it was just so cool meeting like people that I'm probably not going to meet again for a good long while, and it was just something. It had a very almost an exotic feel to it. I really liked Glasgow. I thought
Glasgow is exotic.
Yeah,
but,
well, where else can you get munchie boxes? You know.
Well,
yeah.
The thing I will say about London that does stick out for me is it was the first time that anyone came up to me and asked for my autograph, which was surreal.
Isn't that surreal? I had that in Blackpool last time, and that kid came up to me. He said, "Oh, I made a Pokemon card that looks like you," and it's like, I look like this little angry furry thing. I was like, "Okay, do I sign this or punch you in the face? I don't know what to do." So I signed it. So, cheers, mate. It was so surreal.
It was quite funny when I went to the Blackpool one. I had a couple of people ask me for autographs, and when I went to the one in London, the Anime Expo Con, which is a lot more anime, than anything else, I had a lot of people ask me for autographs, and I never bought pens or anything like that. But then I saw people like Cat Icarus there and Digino Gaming there, and they did have like their own little Sharpies. So I bought myself a load of Sharpies, and then I went up to Glasgow, and not one person asked me. I'm walking around with a fucking Sharpie. Like,
Normally it's like I get selfies, but I don't usually get people asking for it.
Yeah. But I mean, London, I was fucking signing everything.
I've never had a selfie. Not that I want this kind of thing, but it was weird. I think I was just talking to Pete, Nostalgia Nerd, and you were behind me, Dan, with Larry, and this guy came up to me, and he goes by the name Ernie Kraken on YouTube, and he just said, "Oh, Chris Novabug." I was like, "Yeah," and he pulls out this copy of Amstrad Action, the simply stunning copy of Amstrad Action with the console on the front, and says, "Oh, it'd be really nice if you could sign this for me." I went,
"No way."
"What? Me?" I was like, "Okay, that's really weird, but really cool at the same time." So yeah, that was mad. That was mad. That was what made London for me. That one.
Speaking of autographs, yesterday, completely different subject. Go back to expos, but Retro Hunter, like he's from town. Like he's got he's just got in a replica WWE Wind Eagle belt,
Ooh,
and it was signed by Bret Hart.
Oh,
nice.
And
That's cool.
I got to pose with it. I can't wait till I get the pictures. And it's just like,
But that's the thing. It's like, yeah, it's cool seeing the subscriber count grow and, you know, people noticing your stuff. But when I'm out and about, I'm not a celebrity and I never want to be. I don't want to be that guy because I've seen that happen a few times where some people get a little bit of clout and they think they're fucking God. And it's like, well, no, mate, you come from the same era. You come from the same as I have. You cannot put yourself above anyone else.
Don't forget where you came from.
Yeah.
I'd like to tell.
I'd
like to tell an amusing anecdote regarding getting recognised. I was in Sydney, Australia last year, and my wife needed to go to the toilet. And there was a little arcade bar. So we went into the little arcade bar, and I was completely out of gimmick, no top hat, just your everyday folk. And the man went, "Oh my God, you're Top Hat Gaming, man." And I couldn't believe it, like that far away from home. What was that? That wasn't Top Hat Champagne. No, that should have been it. Is that Top Hats and Champagne? But yeah, it turned out it was someone who moved from England and opened a retro arcade in Sydney.
Oh, was it Yahtzee?
Right on.
And he actually had
the other Top Hat Gaming man.
First time I got recognised was it was weird. I was in a casino. I was in like one of our local casinos, like on the seafront, and it was about 2. It must have been about 2 in the morning. I was drunk off my arse. And then one of the staff just suddenly stops me as I'm going to like put my chips in, and you're Kim Justice. I was like, yeah, and that was the super. So that was like the first time it happened. Like, and it's like, oh yeah, I love all your stuff and all that.
It's never happened to me with the family around it. I'm waiting for it to happen because I always wind up my wife like, yeah, signing stuff all the time, meeting people. But I used to be like this back when I was on the telly before I had the YouTube channel, which in my opinion, I get a lot more love from the YouTube channel than I did being on the telly. And I recognised a few times when I was on the telly, like when I went up to a Pendulum gig and was at the back of this queue, and this is like the most exciting that's ever happened. They, oh, you were on the telly last night, and I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, come in. And that was really cool. So I got to the front of the queue once, and then when I went backstage at Download Festival, which I got through another thing, people were obviously looking for famous people there, and someone recognised me there. But I always used to wind up my mum and my wife and say like, oh yeah, people recognise me all the time. You want to be careful, you know, like that. And I remember I went into a Summerfield or a Co-op or whatever, and there was this like little group of kids, and they're all like pointing at me like, oh my God, there he is. And I was just like, oh my God, they know who I am. They know who I am. And I walked over and I was just like, you all right, guys? And I was expecting them to like, if you want to take a picture, like, you will look like my mate. Like, awesome. I know who that is.
I've not had that yet, but I'm dreading the day where it's like, oh, you're Scott from Scott's Game Sign. Next thing you know, I'm putting my hands up because I know a fist is coming my way.
Professor Juice asks, what on earth is a munchie box?
Fucking banging. That's what they
Juice in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, Professor Juice. Professor Juice is a very, very good channel, guys. Yeah, I very much like Professor Juice. Very good channel.
Andrew Dalton says that he's been recognised as a bloody patron in London.
And he's also been recognised as me in London. Oh, that's awesome. You poor bastard.
Is Larry back?
I believe Larry is back, but he's still not got no camera.
But he's still black. Back in black.
Larry's camera's
still
not
in the
working.
shade.
These big YouTubers.
In the darkness.
Don't want to see your face. Not going to show my face, peasants.
I've just sent over a request to Rosie or Professor Juice, see if she wants to join in. One of my first cons with me. Oh, experienced one of my first cons with me. Ooh. Anyway. Should we continue with this chat? Yes, we all like being YouTubers and we all love meeting people. I think that's pretty universal. The
best thing is money.
Mates. Go on, Rich.
I just said the best thing is money. No denying it.
What money? What money? What is this money you're speaking of?
But it is. I tell you what. Sorry.
I reached the threshold. I reached the threshold actually today.
Oh yeah.
I achieved my second £100.
Wow.
From 4.5 years of YouTube, £200 I've made.
Fucking hell.
Oh, does it tell you a total? You'd have to wait to 100 to get that out.
I've not made 100 quid sucking.
That's where the threshold's set.
Right.
It's set to 100 now. Fucking hell.
Set to 100.
Wow. Didn't it used to be like 30 or something? I remember something like that. Interesting.
When I was with Maker, they wouldn't give me anything until I got 50. Hey, Larry is on camera.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
You.
Right, let's hear your smart Alec remark. What's the best thing about being a YouTuber for you, Larry?
Money, basically.
Yes.
Cut through the bullshit here. It's all about fans. It's a great community, you know. Money.
And trolling Peter Marlowe. Come on.
Yes.
Honesty.
What I want to know, Larry, is what is in that frame?
That's an anime cell. That's the second Tenchi Muyo movie.
Ah.
There you go.
And when's the wallpaper going up?
I painted it grey when I was a teenager, and I can't be asked to paint it again.
Kind of like my wall.
There we go. Okay. Rosie will not be able to join us tonight, but she does say that she has learned the way of the munchies.
The path of the munchie box, yes.
But no, honestly, one of the main reasons I started a channel is because I remember talking to my friends, and when I talked about retro gaming, it wouldn't really go much further than the very obvious stuff like your Super Nintendo, Mega Drive. It wouldn't go too much further than that. So I wanted to do a channel talking about these weird facts that I didn't know, and now people come to me to talk about all of these weird topics, and that's the fucking best thing. That really is. I absolutely adore people coming up to me and telling me stupid shit about games because I find it interesting, and it really blew my mind because I went to the pub with Did You Know Gaming and this other guy I know as well once, and it was just a big penis off. We was all just trying to outdo each other with
who's got the most
weird game facts. It's like, yeah, but have you heard? Yeah, but have you heard? Oh, yeah, but did you know? But did you know? It was
know?
That was it. So,
also, it gave me a reason to have all of this crap behind me. Rather than just
that is another thing I do get to tell my wife now, but I need it. Look, the YouTube thing, yeah?
Research. This is right off.
I've been asked, as you've only just joined in, Larry, tell us some of your best trolling comments.
I don't really get many trolls, really, to be honest. I think they sort of avoid me because I just troll them straight back because I'm not a fucking idiot. But well, any
examples? Any examples off the cuff?
I can't think of any at the moment. It's been so long.
There's loads of comments that think that me, you, and Slopes are the same person.
Well, we are actually. This is why I spent so long setting up my webcams because it takes a long time to try and sync up everything we say.
Jesus Christ! This is a pre-recorded message.
He's a gestalt entity.
God, that's like saying you'd shoot at fucking Resident Evil. Jeez.
It's all right. Everyone used to think I was Big Boy Barry at one point. So
you're working your way down the fat YouTubers to me.
Yeah. Massive lard off on YouTube. Yeah. So.
Wow. Yeah, we could all be Boogie, but we don't want the victim syndrome.
Woo!
Bob.
Wow! Woo! Hey, let's get word into the news.
I don't suffer from that.
With your thin privilege, yeah.
I'm not that thin.
We may have one other
person. Me up, I look like a dissected frog.
We may have someone else join us fairly soon. Anyway.
Who's that?
You'll have to see. You have to see, Larry.
Oh, it'd be a surprise.
Oh wait.
Oh yeah, did you see
Spectrum?
Oh, let's have a conversation.
Okay.
Hello, it's George here. Bunch of bastards talking about me.
YouTube circle jerk.
I want to be inside of that so badly. Fucking dick.
I get on with it. I think it's always been quite nice.
He fucking irritates the piss out of me.
Oh, I do like him. I've had nice chats with him in that.
He's trolled us all badly, Larry.
But he's always, like I said, he's always, from personal experience, he's always been right to me. So I don't want to.
That's the thing. Like originally, when I reached out to him, I was going to try and be nice to him. I know, you hear negative things about people, but you try to be your best to be nice to him. But then he just became a cunt to me, and I was like, well, okay, you want to start the battling? Let's do this.
It's like when he made videos about me, and it's like, well, thing is, he's always been a dick to me. Like he started being a dick to me. Like he put like shitty comments on a bunch of my vids. So it's like, yeah, of course I don't like you.
I'm thinking about tracking down where he lives and making the first ever episode of a show I've come up with called Rogue Tubers, where you put all horrible YouTube them and ask them why are they doing this.
He lives in Spain, doesn't he?
Apparently.
Well, the Top Hat doesn't believe he exists.
He's actually Dan and Kim and me, another this fourth person.
Yeah. We're actually all.
We're expecting tomorrow. You'll be expecting a video on his channel about this.
See, I made a big mistake the other day. Not of the subject of the cunty spectrum, but basically on Facebook, I put up that thing where it's like, if my name wasn't Dan, if my name wasn't my name, what name would it be? And what was I thinking? First one, Larry. Like, oh, for fuck's sake! What?
Walked into that one.
I had a Kim as well.
I had to try with all my might not to give you shit on that one.
I need to turn my camera.
I actually had a comment from one of my close mates back in the guinea pig days, Kirby, and he messaged me and goes, "I don't know who any of those people are writing on that." Okay,
yeah, no shit.
Oh, start up a channel then, you dick.
Yeah,
but,
get into it. Come on.
I'm trying to find other questions so we don't keep talking about dicks. But
I need more drink and I need to get it.
After your gaming childhood, when older, what rekindled your love for retro gaming once again?
That's an interesting question, actually.
I actually don't think I've ever grown out of it because I've always enjoyed the last generation every single time I've moved up. So I've never not been into retro gaming.
I don't even consider myself a retro gamer. I just play what I want to play. It doesn't matter if it was 2018 or comes out in 1978. I'll fucking play it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am definitely not a retro gamer, 100% retro gamer, because I still do like to play new age games. You know, I get excited about what comes out at E3 and all that sort of stuff, and I do play new games, but I also fucking love the simplicity of some of the earlier games. Why are you laughing at me, Tom?
We've got like 40 years of gaming history now, but there's many people out there who only play what's come out in the last week rather than going back to the 40 years we've already got. That's a stranger culture.
There's a rich history.
Absolutely.
Tapestry.
And all the things that we take the piss off out of now, we're just going to be absolute hardcore collectors about in the future. Oh, do you remember Fortnite?
No, fuck that shite.
Do you remember when instead of buying games, you bought Skylander figures instead? Oh, that was awesome back then, wasn't it? Yeah.
Never did it.
I got asked if I want to do some paid content on the new Skylanders mobile game recently.
Wow, that's some desperation right there.
I said, how much?
But I only own one amiibo. That's only because I bought it for $5 because I found it in a fucking charity shop, and that was Shovel Knight, because Shovel Knight's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I don't think amiibos are that bad because it is physical DLC, isn't it? Essentially, it's a little bit more. It's not a little bit more. It's double the price, but it's physical DLC. And we've just had someone new join in.
I don't know if it's working or not.
It is.
Hey, you alright?
Hello, lads. How we doing?
Good evening.
Hello.
Oh, hold on. I don't know if
this
the
wasn't.
music...
Sorry,
I don't know if sound's coming out of my microphone or out of my webcam. So if it sounds appalling, it might be because it's coming from that. And I'm watching the stream as I'm on the stream, and now I'm mentally and emotionally and everything confused.
I'll tell you what, I'm really happy. Someone's got the same taste in diffuser. Look.
I know we all have, man. Look, I've got my going on as well. There's my diffuser.
I just don't use it.
Yeah, I've just got a lapel mic on, so yeah, I don't really need it.
So for people that don't know, I will let you introduce yourself, please, newcomer.
Hello, my name is Professor Juice on the old YouTube views. Do I have to say what I do?
Yeah,
I'm going to say what I do. I create videos on video games and stuff like that, and have all the fun times and jazz.
Yes, you're definitely. I'd say you're in the PS1, PS2 era, aren't you?
Oh yes, boys and girls. I am the good old PlayStation lass.
My teenage
I
generation.
want those glasses. They are balling.
Oh, thanks, lad. No,
They are.
seriously. I apologize for because literally I was wrapped up in bed watching you guys just having a chat. And because I've got to go off tomorrow morning, but at the same time, it's like, let's be rebellious for once in my life, lads. So literally, I was all wrapped up in my PJs. I am wearing like Crocs and trackies just to hide the PJ-ness. I've got like a Marmite PJ vest underneath this top, so I'm just loving life at the moment. And I didn't think you'd want to see my tired eyes.
Very sharp glasses, I'd say. Sharp glasses.
Oh, thank you very much. All part.
Is it where you don't really see the white because they're so close to your eyes? It's just everything's orange.
Actually, they're really like quite nice. You only get like a tint of orange to everything, and you'd think that the lines are like really distracting, but they're not really like at all. I don't really see the lines and stuff.
Are you unboxing stuff, Larry?
No, I had to get my new camera out because it wasn't working.
Funny you say that.
That wasn't funny at all.
I got a Chinese company send me a set of gamer glasses. Now, look at these.
What the
Do they look like gamer glasses to you? No, they are safety goggles. They sent me saying these are gamer glasses.
I got a couple of feet better, £1 each.
Got them from the dentist.
You've got to be safe when playing those video games. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Gotta have.
Has anyone seen those gaming gloves? You can buy gaming gloves.
Holy shit! Everything's pea yellow now. All I see is
How does
piss.
having everything yellow help with gaming?
Wow. It's supposed
It blocks out the blue light and
Yeah.
stops giving you migraines.
yeah.
Oh my god, there was a genuine reason for it.
Yeah,
everything
because
looks
I
like
used to
blue
wear
yellow.
it. That geeky tipster guy, he used to wear them all the time until they pulled his sponsorship.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
I remember him seeing him wearing those now.
Yeah.
That was why as well. Oh, okay. Okay.
So many feuds, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves the old controversy. He does. He loves the controversy.
I'm
and then going to Twitter like, "Come on, guys, calm down, calm down,
Calm down.
Is he winding up Twin Galaxy at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah.
He loves it. But I actually think, wasn't it? What's his? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh, I won't.
Oh, come on, carry on.
No.
Where's your speech?
go on, mate.
Who's the Donkey Kong guy? What's his name?
Silly Bitchel.
Someone sent him, and he thinks it's him. Sent him some of his hot sauce. He got a package. He unboxed it. He's like, "I've got some Billy Mitchell hot sauce," and he like max him in every video. It's really weird. But there you go. I told you it wasn't that interesting.
I'd like to try some of that. They got like autograph copies of it on eBay, but they want like 60 quid for it.
It would be quite a cool thing
Not
to own.
Yeah.
60p. What it's worth.
Well, it's just this bloody Tabasco sauce, really, isn't it? I mean, in the long run.
Generic Tabasco.
Oh, what's going on, Top Hat? Come on, Top Hat.
What are you doing?
I hang this up in my house to remind me.
I want that. I want that so bad. I need that in my life right now.
You absolute specimen.
Only Top Hat. So, moving back to convention, I was chatting. The reason I brought you on actually because you was at one of the first conventions I went to, Professor Juice.
Oh, was that the London one?
Yes, well, it's actually the second one, but I went to one weekend before. But yeah. And yeah, it's the first time. I mean, me and you had collaborated in the past, but we were talking about like expo experiences and all that sort of thing. What did you think of that anime
Well, because that was my first one. I've been to conventions, but that was my first one, like as a guest, like being invited to do a panel and stuff like that. So I had no idea, kind of like how the system ran, or like literally, I just remember like turning up and I was like, "Hello, I've been told to come to a desk. Rosie Caddick, Professor Juice," and then the lady behind the till was like, "Okay, let's have a look." And I was like, "Oh God, I don't think they know I'm here." And then like you just saw all these people walking by and stuff, like bands, because you have to do it like slightly early. And I was just like, "I'm not in a band. Should I be in a band? What am I doing?" But no, I mean, luckily I was fine because I met up with Daz, Greg, and Jim and Keris beforehand. Because I was like, I don't know where I'm going. I think I'm doing the right thing. But in terms, I'm going completely off sidetrack. But in terms of the convention itself, no, it was, I think we had apparently our panels went really well. And I was really happy when people said they were like, loved hearing us talk. And I got to talk about.
I was there very briefly on the Sunday.
What day was it? We did the Saturday, didn't we? Well, I did the Saturday. I think. Like
Sunday morning was my panel. I think it was what, 12 o'clock, something like that.
I felt for you big time because you was on the quieter day. What they've done the same thing to you as they've done for me. I had actually presented something. I actually worked on this big fuck off presentation.
Yeah, you did. I remember that, and it was pretty much a video on a presentation.
Yeah, I made this big old presentation, and like. I started at 10. The convention opened at 10. I was in the furthest away hall. So by the time people got to me, I was either halfway through or finished. So anyone got any questions?
All the noise from all the games.
So yeah, it was a little bit annoying. And then you, Kim, you was on an even quieter day as well.
Yeah, and I had one of the worst hangovers I've ever had.
Oh, you rebel.
Well, it was basically because I'm like part of an Amdram group, and the night before was like our end of year meal. So it's like everyone goes to a restaurant, everyone goes for drinks afterwards, everyone gets blitzed. So yeah, that was the night before. And so yeah, oh dear. I did my panel. There was about 3 people there, including Dan.
Yeah, that's painful.
And then not long after that, I was like, I've got to go.
Yeah, I ran off.
I knew all your guys would turn up, but it's like, I don't want to meet you for the first time like this because I'm on the brink of being. I might just be sick all over everyone. So I just thought I made my excuses and left.
I
did get asked to go back again, and I said no.
Yeah, I got asked to go back again, and I was for this event. I was just like, I think the time they were doing it, I couldn't make it anyway.
Yeah,
but I was also just like kind of. I was like, I felt as if it was more of an anime convention than a game. Yeah,
it was more.
What was going on with the fact that you had that young girl, Lily, and she had to talk about music in video games.
Yeah, we rocked that panel.
She goes, "I don't play video games. Did you want to come on stage with us?" So it was me, Lily, who's an anime singer, if you don't know, or like one of these like new age anime girls that sing very Japanese-esque, like living in Tokyo-esque music. And it was me and Rosie just sitting next to her, just answering questions about things like the Streets of Rage soundtrack and the Rapper soundtrack. And every so often she goes, "Yeah."
Yeah, she's like, yeah.
I appreciate being invited, but it's not really my audience. I do documentaries about the Commodore Amiga and ZX Spectrum, which were around before most of your audience was born.
Yeah.
We also had, because we were in like the only gaming section, we had to compete against a guy, bless him, he was very enthusiastic over, was it Overwatch, I think, Dan? And every time he was just like, Overwatch competition, like while we were talking and stuff, it was like, it was like all combined into one.
And everyone that knows me, I love my DDR, but there was a DDR machine, wasn't there? Just like,
yeah.
It's like, what the? I mean, I tried. It was just me and mine just going like, trying to hear, like, I mean, the people who were there asked questions like for like, how long was it on? What, half an hour?
Yeah, about that.
I managed to fill it up, but it's like, but afterwards it's like, oh.
I mean, I'd love to do like more conventions and panels, things like that, but I think it would be interesting to do one that's kind of more gaming audience rather than the anime audience with like the addition.
I'm trying to push on because I mean, obviously, I've done a lot of these play expos. I think we've done. I want to say
it's like if someone asked me, like,
now
"What do you
this
think of
year."
anime? Like, anime is fucking trash.
Okay. It might not have been your audience, Kim.
Well, let's be honest, panels, at least you had more than one. Retrounlim had one panel and it was ruined by one dickhead. Me.
Really?
Yeah, we're not going to mention that, are we?
We don't talk
Saved
about
by
that.
you, Scott, though. So
Yeah.
Well, what I do want to push on, because we've done 3 of these panels now, me and Kim have answered quite, because every expo I've been to, you've been with me, Kim, and those ones we've been to, we do tend to answer the same questions a lot of the
We need
time.
to change things up a bit in some way.
Absolutely.
Thing.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
Holding that pic. Apparently, I think we might have lost the chat. No, I don't think we have.
No,
it's good.
That seems
good here.
Still
Hello,
going.
chat.
we have,
Yeah.
to, we have to propose to Andy. Dan,
Gashead Steve is the last one in. Hey, Gashead.
Was you? I'm sorry. Retrounlim are telling me that the only thing they can see is Top Hat holding up that picture, but I've just refreshed it. It's still there. If it is going to end,
I mean, that's a good
for it
place to
end.
freeze.
good place to stick on. That's the thumbnail.
Yeah, that's fun though. Yeah.
there's a great comment there. Did Top Hat take that from the bedside table?
Oh no, sorry, I'm reading it wrong. That is the thumbnail for this video. There you go. That's the thumbnail. There you are. In infamy, Top Hat. There you go. Novabug, you were saying.
We need to propose to Andy a 8-bit wars panel. So we have representatives from all the 8-bit systems that dominated during the time: the Spectrum, the Commodore, the Amstrad, and the Atari 8-bits.
Mm.
That's what we need.
I think I agree.
Stretch it to the PlayStation and 3DO.
Eh?
Can you stretch it to the PlayStation and 3DO? I know they're not 8-bit,
That
but
could
come
go
on.
into its own one, though, couldn't it?
Oh.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I think it's important that they have the important panels with talking with the Oliver twins or whoever it may be. You know, like the big talk to the developers and all that sort of stuff.
The bankers.
I also do quite like the idea of there being a smaller stage where basically you can submit. I want to do a half an hour panel. Or I want to do a 1 hour panel. Like, I created that presentation all about forgotten gaming mascots from the ZX Spectrum days and stuff like that. And I think that would be an awesome thing to do a presentation on. And I think, because that's what they do in America. They get hundreds and hundreds of submissions, and obviously they filter through them like, oh, this is a tiny channel, no. But I was like, this sounds quite good. We'll give Game Dave a slot talking about Jackie Chan, the history of Jackie Chan video games, and all these other things. And I think that's a really cool idea. I think all you got to do is set up someone in there that knows what they're doing with a microphone to sit next to it. Job done. I mean,
I think, obviously, I was more comfortable. Like the YouTube panel at London, I think we'd have been better on the second stage than the main stage. I think
we filled it up. We filled it up, though, didn't we?
I had some people say it wasn't full up.
Well, I know it was blinding lights from where we were standing, but from what I could see, it was mostly. I mean, I saw someone put up a video, and there was pretty much all the seats filled. I mean, I don't know what did people see that were there? Did it look busy? The YouTube panel in London?
I don't know. I mean,
actually, I don't think anyone here was on there on the Sunday, were they?
I was on the Sunday, but I didn't see the panel.
But yeah, you came just after.
Yeah.
Even
a problem.
Funny.
I mean, I've only done one panel, so I have yet to learn about all these experiences about panel dramas.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I think, yeah.
I can film them, but I can't be on them.
Yeah. I think we definitely need to, when we do panels in the future, we need to do different things like that sort of 8-bit wars, something like that, as opposed to it just being like YouTuber Q&A.
Lads, let's play Twister on stage.
See,
Who's in?
getting a load of YouTubers together, the old digital gaming guys and that, doing Twister.
Yeah, just play ball games like, Twister, stuff like that. Operation.
Right hand on desperation to be noticed.
Let's hope St. John's ambulance on.
That's what we really need to do. We need a box card, everyone. We need Top Hat versus Larry. Slopes versus.
No. I think the quizzes is an obvious thing, isn't it?
Control of the Amstrad scene.
What about battle raps?
Yeah.
Everyone freestyle on stage, boys.
Oh, I don't know if Addy Sneaker James
You have to ask Dan Paul who can help you out on that one.
He introduced me to the battle rap scene in America because he's a big part of it in Ireland. And yeah, that's so much fun because they were
Irish
like
battle rapping. I cannot imagine that.
Yeah, like there's like a proper like battle rap scene. And I don't know if James is still in the chat, but he's really into it. Yeah, he's still in there. And yeah, they all like get into a ring and shit and just really go at each other with just bars and insults, and it seems a lot of fun. Yeah.
Will it count if I just quote Parappa the Rapper? That's the main rapping I know.
Yeah, same here.
You would have the crowd as long as you did the first track. The old kick punch, everyone would join in.
It's all in the mind.
I'm just gonna hum the tunes from Vib Ribbon.
Ah, good pick.
No one talks about the Japanese exclusive ones, do they? The Vib Ribbon exclusives. Sequels.
What's it called?
What was the sequel?
Oh, what's it called?
They've got, I can't remember. They've got Japanese ones. One of them's you're a rapper with a paintbrush going around a circle, rapping, basically. And then there was another one where you bounce up and down on the trampoline.
Didn't that have a cameo of Vibri, the rabbit?
Yeah, it was actually Vibri in that game, in that one.
Vibri's in the one when you're on the jumpies, because that one's all colourful rather than black and white, isn't it?
Really
You've got
annoying.
like
You can't emulate.
Vibri's the first one. Vibri's in the first one, though, isn't it?
yeah, Vibri's in the one in the first one, the black and white one with like the and things like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, good sound effect.
I try. Thank you. I've been practicing for my moment of Vib Ribbon remaster.
Was it Vib Ribble?
Ripple, something like that.
Now you're getting into Blackadder.
That was a sequel.
Are you quoting Blackadder? Because it's starting to sound like it.
Anyone in here says
You've also got Mohib Ribbon.
They're telling me they did not watch my video on it. Yes, it's Vib Ripple and Mojib Ribbon.
Yes, I did. Yeah, Mojib Ribble. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. They were quite quick games, but you can't emulate them because you need the camera.
Okay.
That's brilliant. Love it.
It's all about the tutorial music, though. That's the best one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like bonta 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 bonta.
The funniest thing was when it said you can put your own CD in to make your own level. So I put Firestarter in.
Oh hell yeah! That's cool.
Super hard, wasn't it? Boom.
I want to be a hippie.
Blew up.
Boom.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, put some Gabba or something in there. It'll completely just kill the whole game. It'll just burn.
Oh yes, I'm here to make you move.
Looking
Brilliant.
Friday night, I had a big and I had a big shot.
looking through the comments, guys. Broban says, I got Jammy Lammy for 59p. It's a very difficult game. Absolutely.
Jamalami.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that was one of the early streams that fucking Harry Yak was tormenting me with that damn game because all he did was play it and quote it to me throughout to the point I nearly punched him.
Pixels Limited, yes. Parappa, good girl. I love Jamalami too.
I have a friend who always forgets what Jamalami's called, so he just calls it Jammy Lammy Whammy Slammy Pammy Whammy Jammy, and he'll just go on until he gives up until he remembers.
Jammy Lammy Whammy Whammy Ding Dong.
So from now on, it's Jammy Whammy Slammy Pammy.
It's believed that Jonathan Ross owns the arcade machine in his basement of Jammy Lammy.
What? No, what?
Yes.
I still have to look up this arcade machine.
My video on here.
Jamalami arcade machine.
Yeah,
I need this.
Like little it's a bit like a Guitar Hero-esque thing.
It's fine. I don't need a bed. I can just replace it.
Oh, saying that, in London, did anyone play the Whack-A-Mole Street Fighter 2 cab?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Thing happened to me today. Actually, the retro game shop, they've had that for about a year, and they said to me, "Do you know anyone that wants it?" And I went, "I might know someone." And I got hold of Replay Events, and they got it after I suggested they have it. And then I went over there today. They were so happy with the fact that I was able to get rid of this fucking enormous machine that was sitting in the retro game shop that they gave me this. Wonder Boy 3 Monster Lair on the Mega Drive. Japanese.
Oh, I've seen you've been tweeting about that recently.
Yeah, and then I bought that off them as well because I didn't want to take one game and not buy something. Castle of Illusion.
I've started buying Japanese games. I've got a couple now, so.
Yeah, I've literally only got these two and one more.
I've got a bunch, yeah.
I know.
I've still got a bunch of my Saturn
I
games.
got a Japanese Crackdown.
You did. I saw that in your video today.
Has a significantly better box art than the Western version, which just looks very.
What about the box art versions of Strider? No love for the Gary Barlow European version.
You all right, Larry?
Yeah.
Going to bed?
He's relaxing. You gonna put the suntan bed on yet?
Top Hat's left us.
Well, he's basically
Daniel Vieira, I'm going back a little bit on the comments, says that we should do Strip Twister. I promise you, Daniel, that is not something you want to watch. You do not want to see us do Strip Twister.
No, I refuse that. I refuse that on the basis that I'm not supplying the vomit bags required. No.
To be fair, the video might go viral. The UK retro gaming scene, naked on stage playing Twister.
That would be some deserved trolling.
That'd be something that should have been something for the Digitizer show, as if that couldn't have got more fucked up.
I do know a person that might do that though, but I've retired him. So
I don't know why Andrew Dalton said this. I'm expecting Larry to say, "Draw me like one of your French girls." Oh, it's because you're laying down on the bed.
Keeping it Ken.
I've got to add Top Hat back in. He can't work out how to get back in. It's the same link, mate.
How do I get back in? We haven't changed.
It's the same link, isn't it?
Go to Facebook, mate, and join back in. Look at your comments. Look at your DMs. Right. Okay. So I'm running a lot of these questions. Have you had any trolls or funny comments, Professor Juice, in your videos?
Obviously you always get like the trolls. I had one phase and I took a screenshot and I sent it to my friend because literally one guy, bless him, I mean he was very sweet because he had a marathon of my videos, but on all of my videos the comments were just emojis. So it was just lines and lines of emojis, and then he might say a word in the middle, but I don't think English was his native language, so then it was a case of trying to translate what he was saying, covered by like emojis. And I sent like a
smiley, 100.
Yeah, and it was like I took a screenshot, I sent it to my friend Liam, and I was like, Liam, I am not hip with the kids. What is this emoji language? And he was like, Rosie,
who translate hieroglyphic trolls.
I mean, obviously you get trolls all the time, but most of my juicy friends are very nice, and I love them all. But hang on, let me have a look at my comment. I get most people recently saying, I had a lot of people being like, "Oh my god, Monsters Inc. I love Monsters Inc." after I reviewed one of their games, and then a lot of people like to quote Chop Chop Master Onion. No, I don't. Well, then again, I've never really been able to determine, in a weird way, what a troll actually is. Like, what's a troll? What's someone being honest? And what's someone...
This is a troll. I've just pushed up Top Hat Gamer Man. That is the face of a troll right there. Look at him and all your answers.
Sorry, speaking of trolls, I've literally got breaking news to you guys, which has just been in the last... Funky Spectrum has posted on my video, I'll not be taking part in any more of this nonsense, mate.
Ooh.
There we go. Back to him.
The feud is ended.
Apparently.
Right before your eyes.
Yeah, right.
Well, when everyone hates you, maybe you're doing something wrong. So, what we'll do, we'll change the subject. We've got Top Hat on here. This is very, very topical for your sort of videos. Okay. Regarding video game console prices today, has the retro gaming bubble finally burst? Example, car boots and places like Cash Converters and CX wishing up to eBay prices, and videos on YouTube highlighting rare games.
No, they're still going up and up and up and getting more ridiculous from what I can see.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was a very quick answer, wasn't it, for a very big question?
It's very honest.
People seem to be getting stupider and stupider and now paying like huge sums of money out for like really common games, like best-selling games on systems and stuff like that. Like the Zeldas, the Marios, the Pokemons, the games you can literally find anywhere.
That is the thing, isn't it? Like, why does Mario Kart on the Wii still go for a decent amount of money? Every fucker that owns a Wii has got that game. Wii Sports goes for decent money. Like, officially, every person has that.
Most successful game of all time.
I know, but here's an example. When Wii Sports Club came out on the Wii U, which was 2013, They initially said it would be download only, and you would download each sport individually.
Right. Yep.
So, like a mug, I believe Nintendo, and started to do that. And then 2 years later, they decided, no, we're going to release it physical with all the sports on the disc. They did it anyway, and to this day, it's still the best part of 40 quid for Wii Sports Club, which is the third version of Wii Sports. So why? It's ridiculous.
I mean, I was talking to Retro Hunter yesterday and Adam, who they both run that kind of retro shops in my town, and they say that things have kind of slowed down a little recently, but not. They don't think that things are going to really burst anytime soon. There's always going to be an audience like for these things, more than there was for like Atari or whatever, because the games are a bit more complex, you know.
So what always surprises me is when I get my Retro Gamer magazine. And on the back, I don't know if you guys ever get this magazine, but on the back you have the chill out games bit, and they have the buy it prices. This is what they buy it as. So it just fucking blows my mind, because I wouldn't mind to get Wild Guns for the SNES, but I don't. Whatever they're selling it at, they're buying it at £313.34p.
Yeah, that's
for a boxed copy.
Expensive. It's super rare.
It's like
it was a late release, I think.
It does put me off wanting to collect for that sort of thing. You know, I only really like to, if I'm buying retro, I only really like to buy boxed games.
Yeah.
But no way am I going to spend 300 quid to go try out that game.
Speaking of
games by their nature are more expensive than Mega Drive. Not even just because it's Nintendo, because the packaging was so shit. So it's harder to get it. It's harder to get it complete.
I finished my water bottle, guys.
Well no.
Oh, actually, it's a little bit.
Well, saying that, yeah, even though I don't collect, I keep saying that, I do like to buy I want to buy all the different versions of Resident Evil 2. I was in London a couple weeks ago, and you get the cartridge, the N64 version, for about 45 quid, which is pretty standard. But there was a box copy for £250. I was like, well, fuck that noise.
Mm-hmm.
For a game I'm never going to play, I don't think I want to spend that much money.
Is N64 Resi 2 that rare?
I don't know if it's rare, but it's definitely one of those.
I mean, it's an inferior version. Why wouldn't you play it on PlayStation?
It's
PlayStation's the best.
Well, yeah, true.
Wait.
Well, actually, wasn't it even Daz that said on our panel that one of the Resident Evil games is actually better on the Saturn than it is on the PlayStation? I think it might have been the original.
I think the original was the only one that came out.
When you compare the original base versions of Resident Evil, yes, the Saturn one is better. But once Director's Cut came out, it made all the previous versions obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
Just thanks to that mansion basement theme.
Yep. I wish I was into Resident Evil more.
I love Resident Evil!
Me too.
Resident Evil, I've got like a Stars jumper down there that I was wearing earlier to be snug. I love it. Resident Evil is like my favorite horror series. So, of course, when the remake is finally being announced now, I
can't wait.
Yeah, like buying it the day of its release.
On stream. So.
Speaking of retro gaming bubbles, has anyone else made the observation that Americans have stopped talking about the NES all the time on YouTube?
I wonder why.
I've noticed that there seems to be a lot more people. I was a Sega kid, and I don't remember there being too many Sega kid YouTubers from America 5 years ago.
The biggest one was probably Joe from GameSag.
Yeah, but then that was I felt like that was a tiny bit of a gimmicky thing for their channel. One was Nintendo, one was Sega.
Yeah, I mean that was a gimmicky thing, but yeah. I know, like, he was big into it, like, at the time.
But do you think YouTubers have stopped talking about the NES now?
Yeah, fucking hell, Kim, get on topic, will you?
Are you doing yoga? Are you doing yoga, Larry?
He's doing his exercise.
And why are you doing yoga as well?
Yeah, he's doing a downward fanboy right now.
Larry,
did I trigger you?
Hello.
You're not trying to do a Prince, are you?
Suck your own dick. I wish.
He's kicking off at people for not staying on topic whilst he does yoga.
Whilst he's doing his little...
It's a good reason why I'm fat, so I stopped sodomizing myself.
Don't fold that way.
So here's a question that sort of goes on to what we were saying. If you could choose, if you could have the option to right now to choose and own one rare title ever made, which obviously you don't have, what would it be? And not for selling purposes, Larry.
Chase HQ2 and a GX4000.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
Me too. There
That's
you
what I
go.
was going to say.
Fantasy Star 4.
I'm gutted I sold my I'm gutted I sold my box copy of Knuckles Chaotix. I'd like to get that back.
On
I
the
don't know what I'd
chance
go
that
for.
Chase HQ2 doesn't exist, because there is a whether it does or not, I'd go for Enforcer Skeet Shoot with the light gun set. There you go.
Oh, the Trojan light phaser.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I would have said Klonoa, but my boyfriend got that recently for a cracking deal, which is going to go on my gaming shelf whether he likes it or not. But
Nice.
I've still got my copy of Klonoa from when I bought it originally. Well, my sisters bought it originally, and I now have obtained.
it is mine now. I adopted it.
I'm not a big fan of platformers, but I fucking love Klonoa.
It's so
cool. Yeah.
It made me cry 3 times.
I mean,
when I was watching the Cyberpunk trailer.
Klonoa 2 is awesome. I've got a copy of that, but it's obviously it's not as rare as Klonoa 1.
The Wii version's good. The Wii remake's good.
I've heard the Wii remake's good. We've got that as well, but I haven't played that one yet. It's definitely, I've heard, not as good as the PS1 version, but I've still heard it's...
The Game Boy Advance 2D ones are good as well.
Yeah, I need to play those as well.
They're cool. They're just simple. They're almost a bit Wario Land-esque, just like one simple mechanic, just go. And it's just good graphics, good music. They're cool little games. Just Klonoa 1 generation ago. That's all they are. They're really good. Has there ever been a game that you guys have hated so badly that you've taken back to the shop?
Ooh, Gazza's Super Soccer on the Amstrad. It's the only game I ever took back.
Virtual Hide Glide on a Saturn. And also Rise of the Robots, and that was a rental. I hated it so much, I took it back to Blockbusters.
I rented this game to see if I like it or
Yeah,
like it or not, and I don't.
done
Can I have my money back?
I've never done that before a rental. I did copy it, though.
The only game I've ever took back to a shop is because I needed the money to buy something else, but I went and bought it again later anyway, which was music on the PlayStation 1.
Oh, I remember now. Mine was driver free. Not because the game is shit. This is the story I had. I bought a copy, an Xbox copy from a Virgin in my local city, come back home, open the case, and there was a fucking PS2 disc in the case.
Wow, that's painful.
So I went back, got the Xbox copy, come back, realized the game was shit. Following day, went back and returned the game.
Me again. Don't take this the wrong way, but this game's fucking terrible.
I bought Sonic Lost World and then instantly sold it on eBay.
Oh man,
I bought WCW NWO Thunder for about 40 quid.
Yeah, me too. And World Tour and the backstage assault. I didn't learn my fucking lesson. That's just like
no. The thing is, because when like being a wrestling fan and
having fuck all games out, wrestling.
Yeah, it was horrible times.
Well, I just gave.
You're just desperate because, and it's like, oh yeah, we've got Revenge, we've got No Mercy, or we've got WWF Attitude. Like, it was terrible until SmackDown came out.
I got rid of ECW Anarchy Rules because it was literally just Attitude with a different skin.
Yeah, the
Same
ECW
with
games were.
That was also Attitude with a different skin. Mind you, I got a lot of game time out of Attitude. Me and my friend used to play that a lot, and we used to. It was awesome because that was like the time when I was getting to I'm being on that was like when I first got on the internet and getting into Japanese wrestling and all that, and you'd scour the boards looking for CAWs, CAWs of Mitsuharu Misawa and all that, and it's your phone's yeah, let's put that in gun. So I filled up a whole memory card with Attitude CAWs back in the day.
I have to ask Dan as well, is this the game you were talking about that you got rid of?
Yeah,
right.
Music.
Yay! If you ever want to play it.
I've still got it. I went back and got it another time, but I needed the extra money to buy something else. I can't remember.
I keep meaning to do something with it.
Its sequel, Music 2000, was better.
Yes.
Didn't the Gorillas do something with it?
They did.
I don't know. But then
I remember the Rab and Wine on Video Guide, and they did something with it and got Charlie Brooker to review their tracks.
Fair
Made a lot
enough.
of tracks with music.
Hmm?
Made a lot of music tracks with music. 2000.
Yeah, me too.
Is it the same engine as EJ? Because I used to use that a lot back in the day on PC.
That and
I've still
Music
got a load of
282.
EJ discs.
Novabug, what is the best Amstrad CPC game of all time? Asks Wee Bob.
Well, I stick by my top 11, and it's Chase HQ.
Gregory loses his clock.
I know you can.
Brigitte.
Lots of people.
Larry,
chuck a
what
lot
are you
of
doing with
games
a
in.
knife now?
Sorry?
You're the most interesting person on this stream. What are you doing with a knife?
I don't know.
What
Randomly
are you
stabbing
doing?
myself for a laugh. I don't know. I didn't. You could see it on camera. Yeah, I just.
Cool, yeah. Cool,
No,
yeah.
no live self-harming, please. We're not a therapy group
come on.
here.
It's a family show.
You know it's not.
No.
I
I mean,
chat
Chase
for
HQ is
questions.
awesome on Amstrad. Like, it's the Spectrum version, but in color.
It's exactly. It's whether you want to say what's the best, the Spectrum version or the Amstrad version. When it comes, they're both brilliant. They're pushing the machine to the maximum, I think. And
What's shockingly bad? I don't know if you guys saw like Retro Man Cave's X68000 stream,
Oh yeah.
but the Chase HQ X68000 version is terrible. It's really bad.
Ooh.
that's surprising. I didn't know.
Which
I
is
wouldn't-
really surprising considering
Never
that like,
played it.
most arcade ports are arcade perfect.
Yeah, the FM Towns version isn't that great either.
No, it's really bad. And it's like, whoa. Like, no, I mean, like, as far as like home ports go, yeah, I mean, Spectrum and Amstrad have that locked down.
It's my number one game too.
It's a shame, really, because like stuff like Cisco
right.
Heat is so terrible on the system. That's how bad it could have been.
Hmm.
So they
Yeah.
didn't get
Exactly. I mean, generally, I mean, you used like generally at best okay ports on those systems, but yeah, I mean, Chase HQ was punching way above weight, like that and like Rainbow Islands.
They still managed to ask up the sequel though as well. That's
Yeah.
nowhere near as good.
Obviously, not the
True.
same people.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games that you could pick at the top there. I mean, I was picking my top 11. Gauntlet, I think, is amazing on the Amstrad.
What about here's one? What about like Amstrad exclusive?
Roland games.
Or not even they're not exclusive, are they? They're just bloody.
No, not really. They just rip off of others, really.
Get Dexter.
I really love, had it as my number one, Mega Blasters, which is like a Bomberman.
Yeah, Mega
Dino-
Blasters is great.
Yeah, it's like a Bomberman clone, but you can
Mega
have 4
Blasters.
players. Great story mode as well, so that's definitely
Did,
one to check out.
Did Sub Hunter come out on anything else, Al?
Yeah, I think it's a Commodore 64
Right.
conversion.
'Cause that's great.
But
Got a
there's,
Saturn Chase HQ wins from Bumtree.
Bum Tree, that's a suspicious name.
That is a suspicious name, yeah.
Yes, fucking Michael Burhan in the chat there.
Question for the panel: if a Pegasus is a horse with wings and a unicorn is a horse with a horn, what is a horse with wings and a horn called?
Still a unicorn.
So, any video game questions, guys?
Come on, Kim, you used to watch My Little Pony. You should know.
Here we go. Here's a better one.
Sounds like a wuzzle.
Do you have any games that you hate that are universally loved? Anyone got any games that you hate that are universally loved?
Breath of the Wild.
Ocarina of Time.
I mean, I don't hate Ocarina of Time. I just don't think. I think it's all right.
Any Mario Kart that's not the original.
Really?
Ooh,
Yes.
really?
Yeah, I
Mario
mean
Kart
that
8 is
count too.
fantastic.
I wouldn't say I hate them, but the original's the best one because it didn't have the fucking blue shell.
Well, Mario Kart 64 didn't have the blue shell either.
Well, I can't stand any of the Call of Duties.
I love Call of Duty 4 was
Nah. Ugh, no,
I always have to pay respect to that.
can't stand them.
I have games that I love that are universally hated. Well, not love, but like.
Hate is a bit of a strong word.
Yeah, I don't really
No,
have
I
anything.
don't hate you.
Yeah, I don't hate
Really?
Mario. I don't
I
hate.
hate
the
Pit
Mario
Fighter.
Karts, but
I love Pitfire. It's so fucking dumb.
I hate Pit Fighter.
I have.
I like
Pit
it.
Fighter.
I like Pitfire. Everything except the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah, the Mega Drive
Yeah,
version, awesome.
The worst Pitfire is Game Boy.
Well, you haven't played the
Game Boy
Spectrum or the
version.
Well,
Amstrad.
it's the same
No,
kit you
no,
made the SNES
no,
with.
Pit Fighter on the Game Boy is worse than Spectrum or Amstrad even.
Really? God, it must be unplayable. It's like a blank screen.
Basic, I mean, Pit Fighter on the SNES is the second worst version.
The only reason why you load it up on the Spectrum and the Amstrad is because the music's actually quite good.
It's that
Oh,
awesome.
the music is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that theme is awesome.
The music's really good, but the rest of the game is just utter.
It's garbage, but that theme puts it ahead of the SNES and Game Boy versions. Those
The
are
SNES version is actually probably worse, to be honest. The SNES version is dire.
They are.
I never liked the arcade. I thought the arcade was crap anyway. But
I mean, games that I have like guilty pleasures for that I universally hated. Superman 64 and Cybermorph.
oh,
I had fun when like Cybermorph is pretty shit. But
Luck.
I have fun with it.
Where did you learn to
don't
drive?
think it's that terrible from the time it was made in.
You just did one of those. You did one of those things that I hate when I'm playing a game, like and my nan's there watching or something, like I'm playing something like Destruction Derby and I'm smashing in the car. Oh, remind me never to get in a car with you.
Well, what's the reaction if you played Manhunt? What's going to be your reaction? Oh, I hope you don't strangle me, strangle them.
I hope you don't smother me with a plastic bag on the way.
I hope you don't take a spanner to my head.
Don't remind me to go shopping with you.
you mixed up Destruction Derby with Manhunt, then you get Carmageddon. That would have been.
Oh yeah. Now you're talking.
If you designed a game that you had to be in as a character, what kind of game is it, and who are you in it? That is a fucking question.
Oh
isn't it?
God.
I think my avatar would work
From
well.
Lying Secret, because I keep missing your questions.
Nico Bellic in GTA 4, just so I can walk around awkwardly and get run over by everyone and be a
See, I'd probably go like the adventure route, like Tomb Raider, and then I'm basically like a knockoff Lara Croft.
I'll be Axel in the new Streets of Rage game because Blaze is thick.
My avatar in space in a kind of Earthworm Jim comedy setting. I think that would work.
I would love to be like the autopilot in like Elite Dangerous. Just that'd be funny.
I'd be the truck driver in Euro Truck Simulator.
Yes.
I'd want to be Wario, where I go around the world looking for treasure.
Camera robbing people up the wrong way.
I'll be the king of Cosmos in Katamari, and I just get everyone to roll up the world, and then I just sit there looking all royal and amazing.
I'll be Cloud in Final Fantasy VII, so I can have a massive mental breakdown.
And carry a big ass sword while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Weebob wants to know who made your avatar, Novabug. And Weebob is seriously loving you tonight, Novabug. He's talking a lot about you. It's the Novabug show from Weebob.
No, well, I don't know if any of you saw, but he made a really good piece of fan art of my avatar.
Oh, cool!
Which I showed.
Is it hentai?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, it looked weird, but it was good. It was really well done. No, the avatar was originally, I think, a basic drawing from like clip art. Remember back in the day when Windows 95 you used to get these like random clip art discs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it was randomly lifted off one of those. It was like a basic drawing of an alien. So I just coloured it up a bit and used it as my. I originally used to use it as my favicom, I think they call them, for the chat rooms.
Mm.
Yeah.
What, your avatar?
Yeah, the avatar was originally used for that. Like back in the day when chat rooms used to be around, like ICQ and all those. I used to use it as a favicon for that, and then I sort of kept it, and then I thought, well, I just use it for Facebook, and then use it for YouTube, and then then I decided to 8-bit it up, and it didn't really work very well because I kind of did that usual thing with Photoshop where you zoom in, zoom it out, and change the scaling. Yeah. So Harry took it and he said, "Oh, I'll just redraw it in teletext," and there you go.
That's how you got it.
That's how it was born.
Ah.
See, mine. I mean, I'm sure that comes from Ton of the Fat Man.
That's the Fat Man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Fight Palace. And that's one of the few things that's not really ever changed.
There you go. There you go. Well, I have been asked by Retrounlim to ask each person, starting with Top Hats.
Yes.
Ask each of the panel for a topic question.
Well, I've got to come up with a question for everyone else.
Yeah.
That's on the spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ian Richards, why do you do this all the time?
Why are you like this?
God. Well, I've got to come up with a question for everyone to ask everyone.
Or one question for everyone.
No. You got to ask each one a different question.
I think I've got one.
Oh, okay. I'll start at Novabug because you're the furthest on my list.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Let's top 5 Amstrad games.
Oh,
Have you not been listening? He's already given his number.
I'll give him my top 5 GX4000 games. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give you a different answer.
So that's,
don't worry,
that's a
he's
different
gonna
answer.
tell
So
you.
the best one, obviously, is Pang.
Larry, you look like you're about to fall asleep, mate.
Oh, sorry, I'm just reading.
Just reading the comments.
Get it?
Sorry, Novabug, carry on.
Like on.
Pang, RoboCop 2, Switchblade,
Chase HQ.
Chase HQ2 is not available, is it? You see?
Nah.
Panzer Kickboxing and Plotting.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
wish they brought out Puzznick instead of Plotting. That's all.
Plotting's really good.
RoboCop 2 on the GX4000 is awesome.
Graphically, it's amazing.
Hard.
Bloody hard game.
It's
Oh, well,
so-
Batman. Batman the movie's quite good.
Really good.
Yeah, but it's just a CPC port. So
Yeah.
and it's a worse CPC port because they've taken away the shatter effect when you go into a level. It's not on the 4000 version.
What about Burning Rubber? That's quite good. I quite enjoy that as a free game.
Burning Rubber is obviously, a reskin of Retrounlim.
Wickley Bands.
Very good.
I have a
but
very strong memory of actually seeing.
Navy Seals is fantastic as well, but bloody hard.
Yeah, I have a strong memory of one of the shops that was around the Royals in Southend. They definitely had they were demoing Burning Rubber on the GX4000.
It's been so long since I've played an Amstrad, but I remember as a youngster, I remember there was this top-down, almost ninja-esque looking game, maybe, and you go into different rooms. I can't remember anything about it.
Avenger?
Avenger, yeah.
Avenger, yeah. The one thing little nails keep coming out from the floor and stuff.
I quite like.
Sounds like it might be right.
I think Mystical's all right.
Mystical's okay, but again, it's just
If you can afford it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I've only ever played it anyway. Don't stress that. I certainly can't afford it.
So we get C4 CPC cards.
It's Avenger.
Go on then, Top Hat. Next question is the next person.
Okay, question to Kim. Since you've made quite a few videos on Jimmy Savile recently, who is your prediction for the next British celebrity to become U-Treed?
Oh Jesus!
Name the nonce. Name the
Right.
nonce.
Great. Yes, I love questions that could potentially result in a lawsuit.
It's totally Avenger, guys. It's been so long since I've seen this. Fucking hell, I want to play this game.
I got it on a demo. I got it on a sort of compilation with Jack the Nipple. I remember that.
Jack the Nipper, not Jack the Nipple.
Yeah, just
Big Daddy. And you know I'm saying Big Daddy because he's dead.
no. I reckon Benny Hill would have been caught if he was alive.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
Thanks for that.
Sorry. No, Decisions.
You're thinking of a question for Larry now.
I am, yes.
Oh,
He didn't ask me to do one per.
fucking brilliant.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah, come on. Yep.
It's difficult.
You could always move on to somebody else and
Yes.
come back to me.
Okay, let's have a think.
He's got to think about them
Okay,
as well.
question to
TikTok.
Slopes Game Room.
Yeah.
Tell us about one of your upcoming video topics.
Oh, fucking give him an easy one.
I get Jimmy Savile,
That's his favourite subject.
and Slopes gets a layup.
I'm going to be talking about.
He gets a penalty kick.
I'm going to be unboxing a special video game vinyl. Next question.
Okay. Oh god, this is too bloody difficult. Thinking of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 questions on
Right. What you've got to go do then, as punishment, is go count your video game collection and come back and give us the total.
What's that? Count them all.
Count your video game collection. Go.
Go for it now.
3,092 games.
Do you reckon you've got over 3,000 games?
I think so. But I've never counted. It's just.
I've got a question for everybody.
Okay.
Who's he?
Not a guy in the blue shirt.
How many subscribers does that?
Do you ever fear you'll run out of ideas for videos?
Yes.
And why? What?
Well, I think. Well, I mean, you do. I mean, well, you do get times when you run out of ideas. I mean,
Yeah, mental block, isn't it? A bit of a writer's block.
Get me in the block. I mean, I've had one.
Yeah, burnout. Definitely.
You get it. Yeah, it happens. I mean, like, sure. I mean, like, with like the retro gaming scene, like, there's stories everywhere. But you do worry that there's a time when the ideas are just not going to come, and then they don't come back.
I honestly am in the other camp. I honestly don't think I'll ever run out. I think I'll run out of time before I run out of videos to make, because every time I want to make a video, it become a joke in one of the previous streams I remember, because I'd love to do that as a complete history. I'd love to do that as a complete history. And it's like, oh, shut up, Dan. You want to do everything as a complete history, because I'm never going to run out of franchises to do. And every time
you always go back to them later on as well, because you've spent so long doing it.
Yeah, and so it's been like a week. It takes a week for me to do a video normally, and in that time, I've written down 3 or 4 more ideas in an idea pad. I'm literally never going to run out of things to do until I.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you never actually run out, but yeah, there are times when you think you feel that shit has the well run dry.
Sometimes though, I do a bit like, well, what should I do this weekend? And fuck it, and I just don't even open the pad. I just do something off the cuff. That's how I did like the duck video. I was just like, I'm gonna.
Is that a result though, Dan, of your video style? Because you're that complete history kind of lends itself to a lot of things organically, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you've got a more documentary based style like Kim's got, it's more tricky to come up with something more unique, I would feel.
Yeah, I do get excited when I think of like one of my next videos is about like the Xbox Live service, and I'm like, oh, that'd be cool if I can look into the history of that, and I find a couple of articles like wicked. I'm going to do that, and then I start running with it. So yeah, if I had to do that every week, that'd be a bit of a ball ache.
Yeah,
but I mean, you've done like the whole of Grand Theft Auto and Streets of Rage and Golden Axe and stuff like I have. So
trouble is, I mean, you do get beholden a bit to the.
There's a foot next to your head, Larry.
Yeah. So it is.
You are one flexible motherfucker.
I know. I can put my head on. Really?
How is he contorting like that?
I don't know. I've always been like that. I'm going to probably get severe arthritis when I'm older, but
Larry's contortion factor.
But yeah, no. I mean, trouble is, I mean, especially on YouTube, like you. It's always you're always very close to getting to a stage where you're beholden to the algorithm, and you always think, oh my god, I have to get something out every week.
Behold the algorithm.
Yeah, but you do though, don't you? I mean, it's like I must get something out. I have to get something out, and so you end up like, I mean, I've been in this stage recently where it's like I have to get something out, and even if it's like not exactly my best, like the best thing, and I just can't get over Larry. Jesus,
I'll fix the camera on him.
Foot.
Well, the way I keep focus is that I'm a bit nerdy with this. I made a spreadsheet of all the games I want to cover on the Game Asylum, and it's sometimes if I'm playing a game and it's not really clicking with me, I'll just say, all right, I'll strike that off the list and try something else. And through basically brute force, that's when I can keep the motor rolling. There's a few times where I just can't be fucked do anything. I just want to sit around and do nothing.
What about you, Zypho?
Well, I think I've shifted more to do live streams, and I try and do like a theme for every live stream, like try and make it an event rather than just like a let's play of an Amstrad game. So, I mean, I've really ended up scraping the barrel at the bottom at some point with like, the theme this week is ducks, you know, and we've done Ed the Duck and Dynamite Ducks and all that kind of stuff. But, hey, people have responded to it, but I do struggle. I do have this panic on Wednesday where I haven't chosen what my theme is, and I've got to do the thumbnail and promote it and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, so it gets very stressful, but I'm starting to do what Scott's doing with like getting a spreadsheet going, getting ideas from people on Twitter and Patreon and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm not too beholden to the algorithm that Kim mentions. I don't know much about the algorithms. I'd love to learn more about the algorithms from Kim.
There has never been like, it's like everyone talks about the algorithm, but no one actually knows like what does the algorithm feed on.
It's just, people know what works for them. People know what works for them.
They know that exists, but because YouTube never fucking tells us anything.
I know for a fact.
I mean,
go on.
What about me?
Yeah. Like,
what in terms of algorithm or what I do for ideas for videos and stuff?
Yeah,
let's do it all of it, all of the above.
All of it. My whole no, because I used to do it. So I used to upload a video every other weekend. However, this was when I was like starting to like actually do video production, and I had a bit more time on my hands. But I just found that as I got older, naturally you have to do life doing other things, and I could not physically keep up with everything. So nowadays it's just a case of I work on videos like when I can, or I'm always making sure that I'm working on it. And at the moment, my videos now are going to take a bit longer because I've decided I'm going to advance my skills more rather than I feel as if I have to do a video. I'm like, no, I'm going to advance myself. I'm going to take time with these things, make sure it's better than the last work because I feel as if my audience deserve it. But in terms of like when I get ideas and stuff, I'm very similar in the sense that like if I get an idea, I'll write it. I've got like a little document where I like write down ideas. I've got like a Trello to do document thing. So for each of my shows, if I have an idea coming up, I'll be like, that's an idea. I'll jot it down there. Because I've had it as well that like you guys have said as well, if you, for example, want to review a game, you may really want to cover that game at some point. But if you start scripting it, you can't creatively write a script for it yet. I have it with top 10 lists loads. Like I have like if you have a really creative top 10 list idea, then you're like, oh my god, I can't do any of the things.
They're the gold mines because if you find a really interesting top 5 or top 10 or something like that, they're the ones that the raking the views in my previous experience. And you don't have to call them top 5s.
And they're great discovery things, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, Chris, I see you've got you've got a bit of a notepad in it.
Yeah, that's one of my notepads. This is I'm saying what Scott, Al, Professor, I do exactly the same thing. Get an idea, write it down, and then I end up like half developing the idea on the pad while I'm working on something else.
Yeah, that's what I do. I used to use notepads all the time, but now I actually bought a shitty laptop from CEX to do that stuff.
Lenovo.
Yeah.
But I know Larry's the same because I've read loads of scripts from you, like from even when we first started talking, videos that you've never even mentioned again or even done anything with.
Yeah, I was set on stuff for years. I do.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've got a Google Drive full of half-written scripts.
Yeah, I do that.
Although you have to say it's an amazing feeling when you've got an idea, you just have the idea like that, and then when you start scripting it and you're just on a roll with it, that's like an amazing feeling when you've got an idea and you're like, yes, I can do this, and then off you go doing all the things.
When I did my Heroes of Wrestling video, it was like that. It was like my first proper video on like wrestling. But after all these years. When I did that, it was like that. It just rolled off so much, and I wish I could repeat that again for like the other ones I've done.
I was the same with my top 11 Terrible Amstrad games because it seemed to take forever to get that to come together, and I just kept putting it off and then forgetting about it. And I had Al did material for me, and I had people doing material for me, and I thought I've got to use this. I've got to use it. They've taken the time out to do this for me.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting on it, and I was like, I don't want to do it that way. What do I say? How do I put it together? And then eventually, I just went, bang, and
just do it. Yeah. I mean, I'm like that with the the thing that I'm working on at the moment, the sensible video. It's like I've been putting off. But I need to get to the stage where it's like, right, just write it, and I know when I get to that, it will just flow.
Yeah.
I also have the bad, like, sometimes where if you've got like a really good idea, let's say like a sketch within one of your videos or something, and you've got the idea clearly in your head, but you can't physically do it yet either because, and then you're like, but it would work so well, but you can't physically, you don't know how to do that yet. And then you're like, nah! That's always a pain.
I spent a couple of hours working out. I had this idea of an intro, what I'm doing for my next video, and I had this idea of, I'll let it be known. I had this idea of basically the spectrum shitting on the Amstrad. and it works with the video. You'll see when it comes out. And I thought, how am I going to portray that? But I want to do it in a kind of cheesy but okay way. I did something. You'll see.
I've got a question here, Daniel Vieira, I think it is, in the chat. Adding a good one that adds on to this. Do any of you compromise when making videos to cater to the algorithm, etc.? Do you add or leave things out for this reason? I don't think I take things out.
No,
but I definitely do things to try and stop it getting demonetized. Like
I swear less.
Yeah.
Because I used to swear a lot in my videos. I swear less.
Yeah, I
that's one thing. Yeah, no swear words. Yeah.
Yeah, I try not to. Sometimes I'll say like a little swear word, but most of the time now I say like bloomin'.
I mean,
bloomin'. Do I swear on videos?
No.
Never.
I mean, if you look at the first couple of years, like for my videos, yeah, it's like fuck this, cunt that. It's because that's how I talk in real life.
It felt so weird the first time I sweared in a video. Like I just didn't know what to do. And now I'll drop one in every so often. But the worst ones is I'm really stupid. I've added things like the Ed the Duck one. I said the fucked up history or something like that. And someone said, "Why didn't you say the ducked up?" I'm like, "Oh my god, that would have been so good." And then it got demonetized, not demonetized, but limited ads. And the same thing happened. I was saying earlier. The same thing happened to both the Echo inspiration video, because I called it the fucked up inspiration. Like that was the title of the video.
I tend to find now that if, for example, because sometimes when I'm doing like voiceover or like if I'm just going for my script, I improvise because I just chat, and I find that I think I even do it in like more, even in my normal talk, because I don't talk like a normal person, so I'd like kind of like if like you could say like
talk like a normal person.
Oh yeah, pretty much like like I've got like fucking and things like that. Like
Professor Dalek.
Like like if I do say a naughty word or anything, I just find I put on like a stupid voice, or I add like a weird thing to it, like if it's a or a blah or something, then yeah, like something like that. So then it's kind of like not fully, but it's like silliness. But even then, I don't do it that much. Oh, it's a doggo.
Yeah, sorry.
I think the algorithm can't understand our accents half the time anyway, so we've dodged a bullet there.
It is quite funny when you put the old YouTube created subtitles underneath, and they're just completely wrong.
Yeah. It's like
Lance asked. I always get asked this. Ever feel the need to go back and add on to your complete histories? Yeah, basically. A lot of the time,
it's not complete, is it?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I do complete histories, knowing like
I have redone a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to redo Streets of Rage. It's the only one I'm going to redo. I think. Well, no. The thing is, I mean, I've done Double Dragon. They released Double Dragon 4 and fucking Bounder. I didn't expect them to make another game, but sure enough, Bounder fucking mobile game. But the plan was, I mean, I just don't have time to do little midweek videos. The plan was, if they ever did make another one, I would do a small midweek video. And that would just be and I'd reference the old one and things like that, and I would add on to it then title card. So that's just all I would do. But
I've redone a bunch of things. I mean, I redid Golden Axe, Altered Beast, Flashback, Eternal Champions. Those are ones that I redid.
You've got a Patreon, haven't you, Professor?
No, I don't. I have been debating it for ages. However, I'm at a stage where I'm kind of like, do I produce enough content to justify it?
Because that's the next question.
Yeah, maybe you should have a word with Spoonie about that. He's not done a video in 3 years and he's still getting $500 a month.
More serious question for me. Do you feel?
And then, yeah, when he was producing stuff, he got what, $3,000 a month.
5,000.
That
You're not
bums
bitter
me
at all,
out.
Larry, are you?
Sorry.
You're not bitter at all, mate, are you?
Well, I don't. Well, then again, I'm getting $1,000 a month, and I've not done anything for a couple of months myself. So
I don't watch his content anymore, but he was a big influence on me getting into all this. So
Well, you
to
don't watch
watch him.
him anymore because there isn't any to watch.
What, you don't watch Larry anymore?
Well, yeah, him as well.
Yeah.
not
fuck
Larry.
you.
But
Because
yeah,
the reason I
On
say this.
channel.
The reason I say this is because Andrew Dalton says, more serious question for me, do you feel that while Patreon is great financially, do you feel that it adds more pressure onto you to pump out quality regular content?
I can imagine so.
It would for me, definitely.
The thing is with, Patreon is, because my main income is from Patreon. I don't know if that's really the same for anyone else here.
It's not for me.
It's not really with the ad revenue. Like the ad revenue, like the YouTube algorithm and the ad revenue puts on more pressure because it's very unstable. Whereas Patreon is like, and I've struggled with this myself, like thinking that that's actually that's the more stable income, because if someone's pledged to you on Patreon, that means that they're very into what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those are the people. Those are the people you should really be focusing on.
Yeah. And for me, it definitely does put pressure on it, because I've been a YouTuber now for about 4.5 years. For the first 1 year, just under 1 year, I did one video a month, and then I made the decision after about a year, roughly, of doing one video a month. I'm going to change that to one video a week.
Yeah.
Granted, some of those videos in that first year were like, oh, wicked, I got a record through. That'll be a very easy video to get out this weekend. But now, in the last 3.5 years, I've missed a video at the weekend twice. And I think that's I don't think that's too bad going, personally.
No.
And when I say I've missed a video twice, I've put a mental amount of videos in the midweek. So I've definitely done more than 52 videos a year,
Yeah, I've not missed much, but the whole getting, I've really been kind of fucked by trying to get out a video every week.
It's hard. It's hardcore. It's really fucking hardcore. But the thing is,
you end up putting up stuff that's not really what people came for.
Well, no, I don't know. Like, what will happen to me is I have like small ideas and the big ideas, and I'll just start working on big ideas. And if I get to a point where I'm not going to get this video done, I'll just stop on the Wednesday, and then I'll start working on the smaller ones. I know I can get that done in 3 or 4 days. So then the next week, my big video's ready to go. It'll be easier to finish even. So that's how I work, and that's how I'm always able to get videos out every week. It's fucking hard. I'm tired a lot.
I work as well exactly the same way as you, Dan. I've been trying every week to get something out like really highly edited.
Yeah.
And for me personally, the patrons do really inspire me to carry on.
Big time, man.
Yeah, there's 70 people who are investing their money into me. I want to give them something.
If it wasn't for Patreon, then there's no way I'd be able to do what I do full time.
I would say fuck it this weekend if it wasn't for the not all the time, like once every couple of months or so, I'd say, rather than twice in 3 years, which I'm really chuffed about. But yeah, there you go. So that was a very good question, I think, Andrew. Thank you for that.
Welcome to the top hat asking everyone questions. Where did that go?
Yeah,
I decided,
and the questions got bad. What's your favourite game?
Yeah, ask someone what's fair game and ask me. Oh, who do you think's going to be next to be you, Treat? You want me to get sued, you prick?
Okay, question to Larry.
Yes.
Celebrity death pool. Who's going to die next?
Frank Boff.
I don't know who that is.
Will he die with an apple in his mouth?
Yeah. David Attenborough.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
He is old.
That is a good one.
It would be sad. It would be sad.
It's not a good one. None of us want it to happen.
No.
He was trending on Twitter like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, no. Oh, he just wants us to talk about butterflies. It's okay.
Could be Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas is what, 100, 101?
Who will be next to be pushing up daisies? I got my money on Patrick Swayze.
Well, that's old money now.
Yeah.
For that.
There's one thing for certain that you can't deny. One day Bono is going to die.
Oh, if only.
Yeah. Then we can all sleep easy.
You know Goldie Looking Chain, don't you, Dan? Or some of your friends of him or something?
I've met him a few times, but
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's actually Scott that's interviewed him, haven't you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fucking love him.
They hate that song now. They're really sort of ashamed by it because everyone they made up about it in
mother's
jokes
got
has
a-
actually
yeah.
died.
I was tipped to be the next Goldie looking chain for a very brief period.
I've seen that video.
Yeah,
I've
you
seen
went
that
viral.
video.
You went
Yeah,
viral, what, straight out of acting, then?
yeah. Top Hat is a secret little rapper
That was fucking surreal.
underneath that hat.
Sat there with 4 or 5 of the guys, and you just sat in a room with them with my phone in my hand recording a podcast. It's like, what am I doing here? Yeah, it's pretty funny.
You should call yourself Top Rap Gaming Man.
I could do. Yeah. Maybe that's how I can get more views. Just put random raps in all the videos.
And I come from, I got a lot of racks.
Wee Bob again. Question: if an indie developer could create a new game, what would it be based on? A new Ninja game?
Mega Man. We've never had enough indie games inspired by Mega Man.
Oh god.
Metroidvania.
Yeah, I love my Metroidvanias. Make more of them. Oh, I've had a request. I've had a request. Top Hat. Can you please do some rapping?
Do I have to?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Come
it
on.
was one of your patrons. It was apparently.
Yeah. Mate,
Go on.
I let them down. Like 70 patrons. They all gang together and asked this.
Yeah.
They even chipped in the money as well. Oh dear.
Whoops.
There's
There we
vomit
go.
on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti.
No, he ain't doing it. He ain't doing it.
No.
What do you think about video sharing sites using the old YouTube layout like Vidly? Never even heard of Vidly.
Nope, neither have I. Look, I mean, the trouble is, I mean, I know there's been a whole bunch of sites that have been trying to get like an alternative to YouTube. Like, I mean, VidMe obviously was a big
Yeah.
one for a bit.
They were good, but they tried.
They didn't do too bad, and they were really good to get in contact with other YouTubers.
were, yeah.
a little
They
bit
did.
too.
They did really try, and I respected the effort. But the trouble with that, if you just talk like in business plan terms, the trouble with it is video bandwidth is so fucking expensive. Like, you got to understand, like YouTube ones at a loss.
Yeah, but this is where BitChute comes in.
Yeah, but BitChute it's not going to happen.
But
It's never going to be an
solution,
It's
isn't it?
never going to be that.
Have the overheads of what you need to do for storage capacity and bandwidth. If you're using a peer-to-peer basis, like BitChute uses, that it could be an answer.
Nah, I just think the numbers. It's the
There's
numbers
always
game.
gonna be a limit.
YouTube's so ubiquitous now. There's no way.
And I mean,
anything else
and the
can
trouble,
take
and
over.
I mean, the trouble is with BitChute. I mean, not being funny, not massively talking politically, but
Ooh.
BitChute has an image for itself.
No, that's a fallacy.
But it does, though. I mean, that's what
That's
people.
like saying Gab and Minds are the same thing. Because they're not, because Twitter is just so established and basically falling on its arse at the moment.
Well, yeah.
It needs something to replace it.
I mean, and I respect their efforts. I respect the efforts like BitChute and Minds and Gab, but it's never going to go beyond a certain crowd.
Yeah, well,
That's how I
we have to see, because if these companies think they can pull their weight around and basically bully their user base, then eventually the user base will go, you know what, fuck you.
I mean,
That's when they lose their money and they go.
another example, like maker support.
Yeah.
Like that got a certain image for itself, and then it turned out they couldn't pay the people who used it. Like that was like that was a certain alternative to Patreon. And then it went all tits up, and then it's like
Patreon though have been pretty good though. Patreon have basically mostly stayed out of the political.
They mostly stayed
They
out
made
of it.
one mess up, didn't they? But then they went back on it, and it, yeah.
Mm.
So
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people on Patreon who are still making money off Patreon. There's only a few people who they banned.
but that's what they should be like. They should be completely bipartisan.
Here you go, guys. I've got a wicked one here. We're going to do present company excluded, so there's no bum sniffing. But
I was going to say, before you ask the question, I'm afraid I'm going to fall asleep in a moment because this is late for me.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
I'm probably going to have to head off.
Polite way of saying you're boring, Dan.
No, at all.
That's it. You got to stay now for another 3 hours just to make me feel
Another
better.
3 hours. Oh god, I wouldn't live. Anyway, lovely talking to you all. Nice to meet some of you
Lovely
as well.
talking to you, Rosie.
I'll see you soon, guys.
Bye
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Odd Pod, who is definitely one of them, but I'm not going to say Odd Pod because it sounds like I'm giving a crappy answer. But basically, Odd Pod says, are there any smaller YouTubers you can see being big in the near future? I've got a wicked one. Actually, I think
me.
Octi.
I'm going to say let's take people in here out of it.
Funky Spectrum.
Come on now.
I'm going to say it before Top Hat does.
Well, it was Retro Man Cave who
Yeah,
He's not that small though, Kim.
No. But Retro Man Cave was the guy who brought him up. Like he put him out onto it. Derek Findas.
I need to check this out.
Oh, the Scottish bloke.
Yes.
Mm.
Why have you got a magic wand?
It's not. It's a
No,
gun.
That's a PS aim.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like a coat hanger.
I reckon on a retro tip, if he constantly carries on the way he is, he will
Yeah.
get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. He could reach for the stars. That guy. He does.
Also,
fantastic.
I know she's pretty big right now, but the way she's going, Octavius Ken.
Yeah. Absolutely. Any other smaller YouTubers, guys? Because I'm actually going to be pushing forward my 10 YouTubers under 5K and putting that out next week.
I'd like a Gajillionaire to get quite big. Really like his stuff.
Pomelo Pictures, who's done the CEX investigative videos.
He's
Over
very
3,000
good. Very
subscribers.
good.
Yeah.
In very quick time.
I love Jimmy Happer. He just doesn't put out enough content.
Oh yeah,
It's great.
I've heard this up and coming Swedish guy called PewDiePie. I think he might be big one. day.
Yeah.
What was this Derek guy called? Derek
Findas. He's really good. Like he
Derek Griffith.
very kind of high. It's he has a certain gimmick. It's like the major Scottish TV Spectrum source.
the
It's
Derek Findas archive.
so
Yeah.
yeah. It's really funny, and like Retro Man Cave probably think what 2 days, and he's like the guy's literally just started his YouTube channel. Like he's only got I don't think he
27
has 100
subscribers because I've just subscribed to him. 27 subscribers.
Yeah. But the stuff is like what's there like already is brilliant.
That's cool.
So funny.
Just subbed. I'm going to check him out.
Ah,
I need one person basically for my under 5K.
Well,
Are
he's
these-
slightly over 5Ks at 5.2, but probably my favorite YouTuber. He does a lot of like survival horror games. Is Grimbeard. I fucking love his content.
I like that Guru Larry. I think he's good.
Justice is great.
There are loads, obviously, but yeah, I'm well on you there with GTV. GTV is fucking brilliant. Gajillionaire. And the amazing thing about GTV as well is that he does topics that are so overdone, but brings whole new spins on them and actually talks about things that people don't know about. Primarily the Doki Doki Panic, Super Mario Brothers 2 thing. That was
Hulk Hogan
fucking
manga
awesome,
as well. That was quite good. He done recently.
But the lawsuits between the Famicom and a microwave.
Yeah, sharp.
That's amazing. That's the sort of shit I eat up. That's genuinely my favorite sort of content out there. If I can find stuff like that, I love stuff like that. But that is a really good question. And obviously, Odd Pod, you are a fantastic channel too, my good friend. I've featured you before as well, actually. I believe in one of my videos. So yes, very good. That was a good one. I like that one.
Is it specifically just for gaming channels?
Yeah, well, if you got someone else.
Oh, okay. I think there's a guy on YouTube called Bob the Fish Productions, and he does retrospectives on old TV adverts and that and things and that. He's quite good.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another guy called Victorian Lucas, and he does parodies of old sort of clips from the 70s from BBC and that sort of their old sort of breakdowns and stuff like that, and they're quite funny.
The only way Funky Spectrum will get bigger is if he gets locked into a branch of Greg's overnight.
That's nasty.
Fucking got him.
Got him.
Oh.
Boom. Roasted.
Sane Wifto says, "Wee Bob's going to be big soon."
Oh, wow. What a thing to attend.
I'll tell one channel I do like, which is it's just long plays, but it's because it's unusual Amstrad games he does, is Amstrad Maniac, spelt with a Q.
Okay.
Is he French or something? Or
Yeah, I think so. But he doesn't do any commentary. He just does standard long plays. But it's some of the odd games that he does. He did Macadam Bumper yesterday, which is a quite cute sort of pinball game on the Amstrad. But yeah,
I like his stuff. I like the stuff he's doing now, but I had a little issue with him because like a few years ago he was like pumping these out, but he was using like cheats and pokes and stuff and infinite energy, but he wasn't advertising it in the video. It kind of like bugged me a bit. But the last few months he's been doing them as, you know, without cheats and stuff like that. But I thought it was a little disingenuous. But yeah, I like his stuff he's doing.
I didn't know about that, to be honest. I've only been seeing him in the last year or so. So there you go.
Yeah.
Pixels Limited says Pixels Limited's very good, and yes, it's pretty good. It's very little on there, but it's a good quality little channel.
Someone else I'd like to put over as well is a guy called, a lot of you might have even heard of him, is a Portuguese guy called Stika.
Yes.
He does great content and he's got
Stika, STEAKER.
ST1KA, yeah.
ST1
KA. And he makes really good documentary style content.
Yeah, absolutely. I know this guy.
But he doesn't get many views and subscribers personally because I think he's in Portugal. So it's bad for the algorithm.
Well, it's the same with I think like for a long time, like it's a Pixel thing has been doing.
Yeah, the same. Exactly the same.
He's the one who goes sounds like a vampire.
It's a Pixel thing.
Yeah.
Awesome voice. But
Stika's got the same voice as Borat.
I mean, he does fantastic stuff, but yeah, it just obviously doesn't drive. Same with Paul Jenkinson's Spectrum Show.
Oh, he's good, yeah. Hello, welcome to the Spectrum Show.
Hello, welcome to the Spectrum Show. Amazing channel.
Did he go to Play Expo?
He has been to. He wasn't in London, but he was in Blackpool. He was in Manchester last year. He goes to he's northern based, so he goes to all the northern ones.
Yeah. Oh, I was up to see him. Even though I don't actually know what he looks like, but
another one worth mentioning, and was on my top 10. I'm going to mention him still in the video, but he's not in the top 10 anymore because he's just gone over 5,000. So whatever. But there's a YouTube channel called Too Old for Gaming. So it's 2 old and then 4 gaming. He entirely focused on Vita, and what makes it better is he actually done a Kickstarter for a small Vita book. It cost £7 shipped, about the history of the Vita and all that sort of stuff. It's not like a mental size book, it's like almost like a pamphlet sort of thing, and it's fucking brilliant. And he treated that Kickstarter perfectly, getting advice from people that were backers. Everything was perfect. And
maybe he was just scared of being on your show, Dan.
Well, when I started following him, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you get all this like nice.
It's really fucking cool, actually. It's not like massive, but he's got like interviewers from like certain devs and stuff. £7 though, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
All right,
that's really good.
Well,
and his channel's really cool as well. It's like primarily like a review of a Vita game or something. But yeah, if you like the Vita, it's like you go to Zypho and Novabug for Amstrad, you go to this guy for Vita, basically.
I just want to say, Scott's Game Asylum has left our chat. If you're not following Scott's Game Asylum, please do. Very deep.
He's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye, Scott.
Well, we should probably end it as well, I would say, because I think we've got quite a cool little. I think we've ended there. A nice positive one, shouting out the small channels that deserve it.
Yes.
The ones that still inspire, the ones that make you have to keep pumping out that fresh content. So yeah, I don't really know how you end these streams. I normally duck out before the end as well. So.
Yeah. Oh, I've got to go to bed now. Just sit.
Should I just do that? Got to go to bed now. Stop.
Just got to say, hey, follow me.
So yes, like I said, sadly Harry Yak was not able to join us tonight. So do wish him well.
Oh,
wish him well.
He denied us his endless Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
He will be back.
Go on, Solani ones.
Get to the chopper.
There you go. Well wishes over to you, buddy. Yes, my name is Daniel Robertson of Slopes Game Room. You can find me by searching for Slopes Game Room. What about you, Novabug? Do you want to do your outro?
Yeah, you can find me by just typing Novabug in YouTube or Google, believe it or not. I actually get hit on Google now, so I must be doing something right. Yeah, Amstrad, Becky occasionally, Commodore, PlayStation, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, come and see me, please.
I'm getting higher up on Amstrad as well, because it used to be like game rooms in snowy huts in these. Yeah, that's what it would be. Game rooms on slopes. That's what a lot of the stuff came up with when you looked up on Google. But I'm starting to beat those.
I'm not top. I'm somewhere down the list, but I'm there. You just type in Novabug YouTube, you'll find me.
It was quite funny. Someone at work said they were all talking about when you type my name in, I'm also a wrestler in America. What about you, Dan? What happens when you type your name in?
Are you a wrestler in America? I'm a published author, Dan Ibberston.
Dan Ibberston.
It's you type a picture of me in, and there's a picture of Larry. There's a picture of Ashins. Right, over to you, Kim.
Okay, yeah, I am Kim Justice. I do documentaries, as you probably know. You can follow me on various places. If you search me on YouTube, you'll find my channel. I'm social media wise, I'm mostly active on Twitter under the name Kim XXX Justice. Don't worry about the XXX. If you follow me, you won't see my girl dick or anything like that.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Yeah, kiss, not XXX. So yeah, that's my main thing. I'm also very active I'm active-ish on Facebook. I'm active on Twitter, Patreon, obviously. And I'm also I'm kind of streaming regularly on Twitch. So if you want to follow me there at twitch.tv/Kim_Justice, that would be appreciated. I'll probably be streaming there tomorrow, actually.
What are you doing?
I don't know yet. Maybe Takeshi's challenge.
Ooh. What about you, Larry? For the 42 people watching, how do they find you?
Just go to youtube.com/Larry. Really? That's about it. You can find all my hilariously entertaining videos.
And some of mine too.
Yes.
Over to you, Top Hat.
Okay, I am a Top Hat Gaming Man. You can find me moaning on Twitter, YouTube on the Top Hat Gaming Man channel, YouTube on the Top Hat Chat channel, and twitch.tv/Top Hat Chat at 9 p.m. BST every Saturday night. So if you want to speak to a professional moaner, that's your chance every Saturday. Twitch.tv/Top Hat Chat.
////.com.
Which Luke doing about their business.
And that is everyone. Obviously, it's not. Zypho, over to
you. All right, guys. Hi, I'm Zypho. You'll find a large amount of Amstrad stuff on my channel, but other stuff as well. I will live stream every Friday, either 9 or 10 p.m. Usually Amstrad, called the Am Stream, sadly. And I might even do some modern Battle Royale games as well. And I might be moving to Twitch very, very shortly as well. But you can find me on Facebook and Twitter and all that. Zypho, easy Google, easy find. So there you go. Thank you, guys.
Legendary. Well, I suppose we'll end it there. Thank you all so much. It's been some pretty good questions. I've enjoyed them. Enjoyed them absolutely. And I've just noted as we're about to go, Game Taff has entered the room. So bye, Game Taff, and everyone else.
Bye.
Bye. See you later, people. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.